Welcome back to Retro Madness, session 13, Cat and Mouse. Last session, the group traveled down into the vampire's lair during the day. Um, they were cautious due to the presence of a shield guardian near the columns, or near the coffins, um, and made their way up into the house to see if they could find a place where they could lay an ambush or gather information. Um, they heard music playing in one of the rooms after some searching around on the level immediately above the vampire's basement, um, and found Master Lycoi playing a instrument. Um,
Spooky instrument.
yeah, spookiest of instruments. And my brain is so fried. I almost said I almost said an accordion.
I mean, that is pretty haunted.
Also,
That is certainly a cursed instrument.
Also cursed instrument, but not what he was playing.
Do you not have spooky accordion music queued up for the next encounter?
Unfortunately, I will make sure I
Okay.
forget to do that for next session.
Quick, find a Weird Al instrumental with an accordion.
The cat turns around and it's just like Cats makeup, like in the digital Cats, like, terrible movie.
That's haunted as fuck.
Weird Al. Okay, getting the strange with boner. We should probably move on. They fought Master Lycoi. And they were doing well. And then the cat left. The Tabaxi vampire exited the fight.
Like a bitch.
Some would argue like a bitch. That's an argument you could make. I do think it's funny that D&D has trained us to think that people who are fighting will just remain fighting until the fight is over. Like this is some sort of fucking video game, but
they should
just stand there and take it.
I thought we were in the octagon. What the hell?
Yeah, it's like you have a whole ass D&D world. Stay right here.
I got you for 3 minutes.
Classic. But yeah, that wasn't the case. They did beat the shit out of his werewolf maids, and they're now dead. After the conclusion of the fight, some time is spent divvying out the remnants of the Aura Vitality spell from Castia, and someone tries to give someone a speech, but it just doesn't work.
It does work, and he accepts it.
He doesn't. He looks at you every time you start talking with a look that could peel paint off of a building.
Who the fuck do you think you are, is what he says.
You inspiring shit. Fight over, though. In the aftermath, obviously there's 10 minutes to gallivant around, but as you like.
I think we were going to try to head up the stairs. Weren't there stairs around this corner here? But yeah, I think that was the plan.
There are stairs that go up. I'm assuming Lose is going first.
Congratulations on being volunteered.
Reach for the sun.
I went ahead and added a second token for you, Lose. And then whoever's next in line, I'll have you ready. But you come up the steps. You see that there's a painting on the wall. The painting appears to be of Master Lycoi. It is done in a very high realism style, and kind of looms kind of over you as you enter into the space. There's another painting on the wall just north of you as you come around the high railing, and you would see that it appears to be of the giant skeleton out back. seems to have the rendition seems to have a lot of sunlight over it. So whoever referenced the subject did so during daylight. I assume
You're muted.
Clint is next on the docket.
Oh, sorry.
Glint is going to take a moment to approach the painting of Master Lycoy and poke it in the eyes with his rapier.
The rapier does not pierce.
Interesting.
Oh shit.
In fact, roll a d20.
No, no.
He didn't even ask, "Do you?" before. Like that's.
Oh no.
I got 4.
Your rapier's quality lowers from whatever it's currently at by 1 degree. So if it's currently not damaged at all, it'd be a fine category.
Okay.
Jesus.
As you seem to smash your weapon against what seems to be stone.
I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't forceful. I was just
No,
seeing-
sure. You were trying to pierce the canvas, though, right?
no. I was trying to see if those eyes were like peepholes.
Oh. Well, then don't damage your weapon. I thought you were kind of lancing at it, like.
No. I was trying to. I thought haunted house.
I mean, sure, that tracks.
He was concerned that this was a Scooby-Doo episode, and
Master like
he was
pulls
watching through.
Pulls out
Yeah.
the Tabaxi mask, and there's like another Tabaxi under there. It wasn't for those meddling agitators. There's a door on the south side. Can barely kind of see it, and then on this wall here, there's another mirror, similar to the one
Jonah, this is your time.
downstairs. But this one
Gotcha.
seems to be showing the interior of what appears to be like a large dining hall. And inside of the mirror, you can see movement. It looks like there are probably 24 or so Denisotvan guards, soldiers, currently engaging in the process of consuming mass quantities and drinking frothy ales.
Oh, I thought that was. Oh, is that the Is that their like little hidey hole, their hangout place?
No, it doesn't look like it's the place that you or Astrogoth have ever been to.
These boys are breaking the rules.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be drinking.
Correct. Who's next up on the docket?
Glint would be up towards the
Yeah, you're already up there.
Um,
The door is here.
Yeah. Who's up next, though?
I guess nobody.
I guess
yeah,
I can go.
I don't care. I'll go
Okay.
or not.
We'll just go ahead and get everybody up there then.
Let's all cram in there. Shove somebody through the mirror.
Elbowing.
So, yeah, you would see that this mirror definitely has strangeness to it. I mean, it's like the one downstairs.
A viewing mirror.
It appears to be some sort of like mirror that allows for you to see places far away.
is this the only stairway leading up?
That you found.
Okay. Yeah, we'll need to poke around some more because it seems at current we're kind of trapped here.
Can we remove our tokens?
I got you.
Let me see here.
Okay.
Glint is going to check around the edge of the mirror. He's not going to touch it, but he's looking to see if maybe the mirror itself like conceals a doorway or is a door.
No, it's not. Yeah, touching it, it feels like steel. That said, how long does that undead spirit last, Zach?
Let me look.
It's been about,
I have a feeling it's probably done. But let
yeah,
me
if it's
double
less than 10 minutes, then yeah, it's out of here. 10 minutes or less.
check. It says up to 1 hour.
Okay, well then, yeah, you still have it probably for another 40 or so minutes. Don't want you to lose any benefits that you have, especially since it's a higher level spell slot. But yeah, doors on the south side, Lose. Do you check it?
Yeah.
It's unlocked. openable. Your elvish ears don't perk up. There doesn't appear to be any sound on the opposite end.
Okay.
So-
Hearing no sound, she'll go ahead and
Open it.
open it.
Inside, you see what appears to be a very lavish-looking dining room. It doesn't appear to have any, at least so far as you're aware, connecting positions that would, denote that this is like the one downstairs, which had a larder and like food nearby. So it's actually more, as you kind of, I'm sorry, my brain's dumb. Apologies. You're above the dining room below. Sorry, my brain did a dump. I was
You're good.
reading the wrong note on the wrong side. So yeah, it's just a large kind of open space. There are two massive heads, skull heads, on the walls. Not skull heads, like hunted heads.
Yeah.
One appears to be
Mounted.
a massive ram on the western side, and one appears to be a massive bull on the eastern side. The bull's known by most people present here, if you've been in Draenar's for a while. It's known as an aurochs. The goat, not so savvy. But yeah, there are paintings on the walls in the space, and being familiar with nobility, Lose, anyone else who's kind of the bards, you would know that this area is recessed for specifically minstrels to play their music for the people who are dining below.
Oh, okay.
So they can like kind of be playing out of sight but still be heard clearly.
Hmm. What was the word for the bull again? Sorry.
Aurochs, O-R-O-X.
Aurochs. Perfect, thank you.
There is another door present there, but there are also the paintings, as I mentioned, and everything to the like.
Hmm.
Head and
Damn.
look at this painting.
Okay, so the paintings are pretty static, with the exception of two of them on this kind of wall here. This one here appears to be of a young Tabaxi male, who you don't identify or recognize. This appears to be of a young Tabaxi female, also not recognizable, but with traits in common with the master.
Okay.
And this painting on the far side appears to be an older Tabaxi.
Sorry, which one?
The one on the far side over here.
This one?
This one here.
You're
is it
not pinging.
It's not
Sorry.
pinging. That's
Yeah.
fine. There.
Oh, okay.
The ones on the sides here kind of show what appear to be just monuments, or kind of things of note in Cardend that you're familiar with. So like Cardend, or sorry, not Cardend Manor. The Tarn Keep. You would see the Grand Bridge, which you've blown up. You would see the Enbarrow, or Sepulchre's Barrow Manor, and probably one of the High Tower in Marshtown before it fell. But yeah, the one that kind of stands out amongst all these paintings on the wall is this one here, which just appears to be a man with a just shit-eating grin on his face, looking absolutely stupid and rosy-cheeked with a beer in his hand. Despite it being the dumbest, subject, it appears to have been done in the same high style as all of the other pieces on the walls. Who this guy is, no idea. What this is about, no idea. But it definitely stands out, as it's more brightly colored, more vibrantly lit than the other pieces.
Glint would pull James into the room and ask him if he knows or can identify any of the individuals in the painting.
Look
Any
like,
of the painting.
Look like the Lakoi family, except for that guy. gestures towards the beer guy. Don't know him.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. And Glint's gonna start looking for secret compartments and hidden doors.
Well,
Check
we
them
have the door that's there, right? Or is that the door?
No, I believe that's a painting.
Oh. It just
But he
looks
will
like
be-
there.
You will be checking behind the paintings and also the mounted heads.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing in them. There's nothing kind of crazy about them.
Oh, is my tremor sense revealing anything?
No.
Okay.
One fun fact about your tremor sense, though, is it does appear that it is being inhibited by some means by the southern wall and the western wall. Like you can feel that there's some sort of block.
That's the recording studio.
Yeah, very, very astute note. Yeah, it's very much like someone is like canceling sound.
Well, the music's gotta go downstairs.
It's the anti-bard room.
Oh no.
Isn't that a church?
No, churches are for
Not
bards.
for me.
Church of Christ. They don't like drummers. Or guitars.
Or
Oh.
anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or anything, yeah. Ooh.
Sorry, this is my fault here, but there is also a door on the western wall. Sorry.
Oh. So there's these two doors.
Yeah. Well, there's 3 doors, so
This one is a door?
yeah.
Okay, I thought so. Is there anything behind that door?
Yeah, so it doesn't have a doorknob. It's just kind of like a door that sits on its hinges. Opening it
Like a
would
kitchen
reveal.
door?
Yeah, kind of. Opening it would reveal that it enters into a hall, not too different from the one you're in, that has a view to the floor below.
Oh.
This is the part where Chad was considering going up, but didn't. This is that round room down below.
Oh, right. The weird one.
Yep, and there's a door there, and there's also a door next to it.
Okay.
Is there a door here?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Can I open it?
yeah, you bet. In doing so, you reveal that it enters into a very small chamber that's just kind of wooden and simple. And there looks like there's another door off to the left. Your door opens in to the right.
Okay. There's no door to the right, right?
There's a door to the left. And when you step in, you feel the floor sink about an inch. And I need you to go ahead and tell me what you would do in response to hearing like a sudden click.
Oh no.
Shield up, out?
Shield up, out. What do you? I need you to define that a little bit.
Sorry, shield up, jump out.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and make a dex saving throw. You have advantage.
Oh yeah. Does Shield Master also apply here? Am I the only one being hit?
It's just you, yeah.
Cool.
Okay. You hop back. You can hear kind of a scraping sound against your shield as you kind of push back against it, kind of Alucard leap backwards. As you
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of hit the wood behind you, you can see as you kind of pull your shield back and away, a sword that has dropped from the ceiling and slammed into the floor, burying itself about a foot into the wood.
Shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, and it looks like the sword, it has kind of a gold jeweled handle and a very silvered blade, but it is impaling the floor.
It's not. Is it able to be pulled out?
It looks like it's embedded itself about a foot in the floor, so it's entirely up to you if you want to give it a try.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. The second you
Okay.
reach and grab a hold of the sword, I need you to go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
gonna electrocute you.
21.
You succeed. You're still taking half, which will be a total of 9. The sword lifts itself up out of the ground. You feel it kind of magnetically kind of bounce up out of the ground as you're holding it, and it reflexively kind of throws your hand aside. It vanishes in air as it bursts into like a just kind of a thunderous pop, which kind of sends you
Jesus.
back a little bit, and
Oh.
you take that damage.
Alright.
This place isn't very nice.
This place sucks.
The thing that everyone will note is that they hear the thunder pop.
Well, yeah,
Oh.
it's vampires. Of course it sucks.
Is that is that trap set off for good now, or is it gonna like reset itself?
You look
Did
up
the
and-
floor?
In there, and it doesn't appear to be a sword. You do see the little mount that it was set on. It's like a bronze circle that's been kind of screwed into the ceiling with a small hook, and there's a twine that looks like it's been split in half. Like you entering
Okay.
into it caused it to break the twine and drop the blade.
Gotcha. Okay.
The
So
other thing you would
with-
notice, the blade dropped at a rate that was not indicative of it
Natural.
falling with natural
Yeah.
gravity.
Alright. Alright, that was meant to kill. So yeah, I will open this door up,
Okay.
go back.
Yeah, no problem. You open the door, and looking inside, it's a long hall, at the end of which is a cabinet or a wardrobe. And inside of this space, it doesn't look like there's much room to move around. But there is kind of a small table that's kind of set up in the middle of the space, so that if you were wanting to get around the table, you'd kind of have to, suck in the gut and kind of one of those, like you're
Yeah.
passing somebody in an aisle. So you can
Gotcha. I'll do that. I'll pass by it. And then is this a door down here or no?
It's a wardrobe, so it's like
Wardrobe.
a large kind of cabinet.
Alright, I will keep my shield up like to my nose and then sort of open it up a little bit. See if there's
Inside are
anything-
very fine-looking clothes and garments. They look like they are all very vibrantly colored, very bright and popping. Very similar styles to Volgar. There's also kind of similar styles to Astragoth. Just very bright, vibrant clothing, and it looks like it's in all different sizes.
I'll take it. I'll take everything.
It's probably a good like
You're
30,
stealing
40
their
pounds of
clothes.
clothing.
40 pounds? Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, girlfriend. You don't know how often you can come across fancy clothes like this.
Well, I
Let me
mean, if we
just
kill
see.
them, we can just take the castle.
Take the castle.
And then
So-
it's all ours.
But does it have a catwalk?
I can carry it.
Jesus Christ, man.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna take all of it.
So you just start kind of taking the clothes, and yeah, you can carry it technically, but because your backpack will not fit all of those clothing, there is a spatial issue. So you will be
Sure.
carrying some of it. You will definitely look like some crazy like Black Friday shopper who just like killed a child to get everything you have in your arms.
Yeah, I'll bring it out and then I'll
I'm
I'll
sorry,
search
hold on.
around.
Everybody, take that visual in for a second. You
Mhm.
see him walk back out after he's done, but before he gets out there, I do want to make sure everyone else has done something. So,
Okay.
to be certain, Chad Glint talked to James, kind of discussing the family, getting information therein, also being stumped by the beer guy. Let's go ahead and move to Volgar. What's Volgar doing in the kind of weird state that everyone's kind of in here, this upper barred floor?
Like, as we're checking it out before Thunder Trap and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I would be like seeing if there's anything recognizable about the paintings or anything
So the beer guy.
history-wise.
The beer guy stands out to you immediately. The beer guy is known as Foil, and Foil is typically regarded as a sign for people who love to party, people who love to like do fun shit. The fact that the painting has been done so immaculately is the confusing part for you, because Foil is typically rendered in like etchings or like wanted poster style drawings on like bar places. He's also known as Eglin, and Eglin is known as the god of thieves. He's also known as the god of like partying and like carousing. Yeah, he's not technically a god; he's a power, but he's someone that a bard would know about.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, he's identifiable for you by his freckles and his bright red hair, which is like very like beautifully kept, and like the rest of them just looks like complete dork with a beard. Like the person who painted this, top notch. Like this is like high grade foil for you. You're like,
Very cool.
You want me to cut it out of the frame? We can roll it up and take it with us.
Didn't you already try that?
well, he tried it on the one in the hallway. He hasn't tried it here. Do you want to inspect them, Glint, a little bit closer before you proffer that?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation roll, specifically on the foil painting. These to you appear to be normal paintings. They don't appear to be whatever's going on in the hallway. The hallway appears to be a steel sheet that seems to be showing you this painting, not actually the painting. These are paintings.
So yeah, then he makes the offer. It's like, hey, we can cut it out of the frame and roll it up and stash it and take it with us if you like it that much.
Sure.
Yeah, Glint does not mind vandalizing the Lycois shit.
Yeah, no problem. As you're cutting it, what you'll notice is that the frame seems to have like a lot of give to it. Like normally when you mount a frame like this on a stone wall, you don't do so kind of like just by hanging it on like its little trusses. You want to make sure it's nice and secure, so it's not, sagging or whatever. But as you're kind of cutting it open, what you realize is behind it, there appears to be a very functional looking door handle, and it does seem that the frame can be pulled out.
I asked about this.
Aha.
You didn't
Foiled
ask about
again.
this painting specifically.
No, I said I'm checking the paintings and the
Yeah.
mounted head.
Well, that's perfect. While you were doing that, this came to that point. This is the only
Okay.
painting that has it. It works out perfect.
Okay. Well, kind of a roundabout way, but
Yeah. None of the other ones would have been, again, you would have been spending time with the first two, and then when he came over and noted it. That works fine.
Okay, so basically cuts around the frame to get the painting out, rolls it up, binds it, hands it off to Balgar.
Opens the door.
And check for traps first.
No traps.
Okay. Check, see if it's locked.
Not locked.
Open the door.
This stone slab of door opens up to reveal massive kegs standing one on another, and each one of them has the very same symbol, a dwarvish logo. If Balgar's still kind of like looking in, he would recognize it immediately as well. It's the sign of the Mug Pounder, clan of dwarves who
Pound mugs.
are very serious about their drinking.
As they should be.
It is the finest dwarven ale that you can find in the
So
realm.
the truest dwarves.
The truest of dwarves. Worshippers of Thralk.
What was the name again? The mud
Mug. Like mug.
Mug
Pounder.
smashers.
Mug bounders.
Pound.
Pounder.
Pounders. Sorry.
Pound
for
When you
Like
that.
what I
when you
did to your
finish your
mom.
drink and then
I'm just kidding, Jonah. Sorry. I don't mean to be a bully. I sometimes let it slip.
Fine.
I was bullied as a child. One last thing, because I do need to kind of revert and give Jonah the same due diligence. You're obviously looking at these clothes as you're taking them up and moving them out, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make an investigation roll as well.
Okay. I'm not good at that, but I'll try.
Chad didn't have to do well in his investigation because his action for what he suggested solved the
I got it.
puzzle. Yeah,
Got
you're
it.
so enamored by these clothes, you just keep going for it.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead and say Lose. While Orlandis is setting off traps and going on a fashion haul.
Free.
Yeah,
I can't wait for the video.
right. Hey everybody, I just got back from Sepulchre's Barrow. These are all the things I got. Check out these shoes. Okay, so anyways, Lose.
Arrow
Oh,
Hall.
you were moving into this space. That was while everybody
Yeah.
else was doing this likewise. I'm actually going to move off you. Sorry. Let's go ahead and do. Astragoth.
I imagine I would probably be staying back with James and just kind of looking around as well. It's not
James
really
is
reason for me to go ahead.
intently focused on the goat head and seems to be kind of taking notes and checking his own notebook, which you're actually confused as to where he got that or how he has that.
Nature's pocket.
Do you ask him?
No.
Okay.
I will try to look and see what he's writing or reading.
You're familiar with the Sam Raimi movies, like Army of Darkness, Evil Dead, and the like?
Yeah, I was actually going to pop the joke when you said dwarven logo. I was going to say shop smart, shop dwarf mart.
Oh damn, that would have been inspiration. Where they too bad you didn't do it then. But I will say that as you're looking over his shoulder into his journal, which he has, it does appear to have a lot of drawings. They all look like they're done by the same hand, and they look like they're very rigorous drawings of like detailed anatomy of creatures, very similar in kind.
Fitting of like what a slayer or monster hunter would have.
Yeah, absolutely. But like the styling, like the way I imagine it picture-wise, so you kind of get a similar kind of idea. It's like the drawings that are inside the Necronomicon Ex Mortis are
Okay.
not too dissimilar from his hand. And he seems to be kind of focused on this goat for a while, and he's kind of scrolling through his book.
Interesting.
All right. So you're hanging out with James and waiting for Orlando to pop back up. Cassia, likewise, hanging back.
Kind of peeking in here to see what Lose is looking at, but yeah, generally hanging back because this is a central place as opposed to taking the lead anywhere.
Sounds like Chad and Balgar are focused on the Mug Pounder beverages. Orlandus is popping out to James and Astrogoth with a bunch of clothes in his hands, saying, "Check this out." We'll get to those two sub-parties here in a second as we focus on the sub-party that's leading the charge here. So, Lose, you see Cassia kind of peeking in through the door behind you, and then you look to the two doors. You would also see that there is a large ceramic pot kind of in the corner there, and it looks like it has a number of very large feathers that are kind of slotted inside of it. The feathers look like they'd be very good for dusting, but of what creature they are from, you are not certain.
That might be something for James or Glenn to look at,
For sure.
since they're a bit more animal and creature savvy.
And I think Balgar's nature kind of too. So then you got
Oh yeah.
these two doors here.
Am I hearing anything from the other side of this one?
No sound. Still as the grave. Ever since
Still
the
is
fight,
grave.
nothing.
Alright. Is this one unlocked?
Yeah, it is unlocked. Opening it reveals a long hall. It ends in kind of a terminus. It actually has a window. So there is a window on the far north side of where you're looking.
Like way up here?
Mhm.
Or right here?
Far up. So yeah,
Okay,
here.
all the way up.
Yep. This is a door. There does appear to be another door here, but the door that is here appears to be very strange.
You're not pinging again, by the way.
What's that?
You're not pinging again, by the
Oh,
way.
I know why it keeps happening.
It's okay.
It's alcohol. So there's a very
Those
strange,
damn mug pounders.
very
God
strange
dang.
looking door here. It doesn't look like it's the best way I can kind of describe it is if you've ever looked at the back of a like a shelf, it looks like the back of a shelf with a door
Oh.
handle on it. Like
Oh.
back of one of those really nice mahogany
Yeah.
shelves that are like, really nice cherry kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, but with a door handle on it. And then the door to the north is similar to the doors you've already been messing with.
Mm-hmm.
The window shows a view of the northern side of Sepulchre's Barrow. So you're actually looking out and can kind of see some mausoleums and kind of broken, crypts. And,
Is it an actual window?
yeah, a real ass window.
Okay.
You move over
Good
to
to
it and
know.
tap it. It's got the sound of
An
glass.
ass window.
Very real. The thing that you passed on the way here appears to be a tea, similar to the tea that you saw downstairs. This one is not hot. This one appears to be kind of off. kind of cold, and it seems to be kind of like the blood is kind of congealing on the top. But there's a book next to this, and the book next to this appears to be a ledger. So this must be somewhere near the entrance. There is a door to your left. The door to your left is made completely out of steel, and it shows a like werewolf-like cat face,
Oh.
like a wolf and a cat combined, like in like a relief in the
Was
steel.
Hey,
that?
look, cat.
What'd you say?
I said, hey, look, cat dog.
Well, if anybody Googled the word Lycoy, you would know that it was it's a breed of cat that's very
Yeah, the wolf cats. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They're
Wolf cat.
cute.
Wolf cat.
Wolf cats sound cute.
And they're so Google Lycoy, man. They're
They
adorable.
are really cute though.
They are freaking cute. Like,
Um.
anyways, the door to the left, the steel one, it appears to be slightly ajar. Like there's like a millimeter of space. It's not all the way sealed, right?
Mhm.
The window obviously looks like it's been, sealed pretty well, but you're pretty sure you can unhinge it and lift it. And then weird door doesn't seem to have a lock, and then the door to the north does have a lock.
I'm gonna go ahead and investigate this one.
Cassie, are you moving with Lose?
Yeah, if she's going deeper in, I'll.
Kind of post up like at the door that she's kind of near, just so
Yeah.
you have like a grapevine, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna focus then back into the groups inside. We'll go ahead and do Orlandis last. So we'll
Takes a while to gather all those clothes.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So as you're kind of talking about the painting and then cutting it free for Balgar, there's like a pop sound, and Lose, you'd hear the pop sound as you're kind of entering into the space. Look back, be slightly confused, but kind of not terribly worried about it. As Cassia probably gives like a dismissive look, since she was there to see.
There's
it happen.
no yell of terror or anything.
Yeah, I'm assuming Cassia's face is very Tom-like in its presentation, so it's kind of one of those like.
Why would you do that to her?
You
God.
can read her face and understand that like it's no big deal. It's obviously just shenanigans. But focusing back in, so as you're kind of cutting through the painting and getting the door ready and handing that over, there's the pop. You see Orlandis coming out with the clothes, and you open up the door to reveal the Mug Pounder booze. So you two feel free to engage as you'd like with the secret stash.
So knowing dwarves and their ability to handle alcohol, would I know if the quality of this Mug Pounder alcohol makes it flammable?
It would not be, because it's an ale.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not. The best way I can kind of describe it is I would need to be talking to someone who's had dragon's milk. Have you had dragon's milk?
Delicious.
Yes.
Okay. And if you that sounded like it was quizzical. If you do show
It's
up,
just been a very long time.
He's had dragon's milk.
Okay.
He used to
Yeah.
fucking live at the Harat.
oh hell yeah, then he's had dragon's milk. So anyways, that add about 6 to 10 more points on the alcohol by volume percentage.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. It's
Like
not
really strong mead.
Yeah, well, no, it's not a mead. It is definitely still an ale. It's like that kind of like stout, kind of like.
But more of the alcohol percentage of a mead.
Yeah, it's very much like the kind of bitter taste of like a stout, like a dark stout, but it's very much more potent than what we here have. There's some
And I-
like.
Can't drink this?
I can't drink this. Well, you're an elf. That's fine. You're not supposed to.
No.
That's
In real life.
both. All of the above.
No!
To the point. So.
It sounds delicious.
Balgar, definitely the fanciest ale that you can come across. And for you, Glint, it's more of a why is this here? Probably. So, interact.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely like that concern.
Yeah, what the fuck is this doing here?
Glint was just hoping to MacGyver some serious burn this house down potential.
Do I know anything about mug pounders in the area?
Not many. Most mug pounders are located in Sorrowgate, which is one of the 6 kingdoms of Parnek. It is the westernmost. Sarrowgate shares a border with Jernaris. So it's not terribly far away, but it's kind of close. It'd be like comparing being kind of in the center of the United States to like Toronto, like that kind of distance.
Is there like any sort of date on these barrels?
They are all stamped and beautifully marked. It does look like you can track kind of like the maker's mark and the like, but the problem is you can only do so if you can speak Dwarvish.
That's fine.
I'll, look at it.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Couple
That's a good
years,
point.
couple years old, and you know that it's a barrel aged ale. So the longer it's kind of around, the better it is. So this doesn't look like it's super old, but it doesn't look like it's terribly fresh either.
I mean, the best thing I could say is that they just had really good taste and they wanted the best beer in the lands.
Probably it.
Yeah, I was curious if maybe they like stole it or anything like that, but
It seems
sure-
unlikely that it was stolen from someplace. More like it was probably shipped in here, I would say, but that's just a guess.
I mean, yeah, it stands to reason they had the resources to make it happen.
I have a really dumb idea brewing.
It does look like there are kind of on the kind of small tray area at the bottom of the thing that's holding all of the barrels. It does look like there are a couple of spigots and places for those spigots to be placed in the barrels. It does look like there's a small space underneath all the barrels as well, as they're kind of held up on this lattice, large kind of 2x4 kind of structure that the barrels have been kind of slotted into.
It's like an oversized wine rack.
It's like a huge fucking wine rack, yeah. Someone went to Lowe's and just said, "Well, I gotta store them."
Normally, man, it's a good thing Hezrod's not here. He just shut the door. He just
Ezra and Golden here. Forget it.
He'd be like,
Party time!
That'll be the rest of the campaign.
we came here to kill vampires, but priorities.
Slauncher.
You see, we're a little busy here.
Only
Just hangs a
alcohol.
do not disturb sign on the door.
Yeah.
Or just close the door. It doesn't exist anymore.
Are you right?
If that's kind of the focus for Glint, Balgar, do you have anything that you want to check in here? Anything that you want to examine?
Nothing that I can think of.
Okay. And not testing it or anything?
Testing the ale?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I probably would.
Take one of the spigots, place it in. It has like a kind of just nice kind of sound as you kind of set it into the wooden barrel. As you kind of pull the lever and allow some to kind of enter into your hands and take a sip. Perfection.
Oh yeah, this is the real stuff.
This is it. And there's probably like, I would say a good 10 barrels of it. So I don't know how many gallons are in a barrel like of this size, but they're like the big barrels. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like a giant keg?
It's like,
I mean,
yeah,
Like a bung.
yeah, a bung, correct. So it would
Oh,
be
okay.
more like,
So gotta be careful with the bunghole.
40?
it's like 20 gallons, right? Does that sound about right?
Yeah,
20
that
or
sounds
30.
right.
I'll have to Google it. 20 or 30, yeah. Something like that. But it's a lot of this delicious ale. Obviously, you can think of one person who might be very interested in having it on stock, but getting it from here to there is going to be rough. But moving over to Astrogoth and Orlandis, James is very extensively focusing on the goat head, taking notes of that. As you come out with the clothes to Astrogoth, what would you say, Orlandis?
I found these clothes. I was thinking of maybe giving them to the townsfolk. Maybe they would appreciate some new clothes.
So, Astrogoth, just an immediate look of them. As I described them before, I just want to make sure you understand. These are bard's clothes. These are very much like performers' clothes. They are very bright. They're very vibrant. They're very rich in detail and orientation. Like, they're just gaudy as all hell. not too dissimilar from your own attire or
Wait a minute, what are you trying to say there?
for Balgar's attire. You very much dress to capture attention, to get the eye.
Right.
That's what
Look at
these-
me.
I want to be seen. These clothes are very much in the same styling.
Alright. Would there be any mechanical advantage for having more than one set of clothing, given it's not really armor or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I'd probably say like if you're able to change clothes more often, probably won't like impose any penalties to charisma checks for traveling.
I might,
It's
if I have the opportunity, I might try to look through and see if there's take the most gaudy one,
all
because
right.
it's probably my character's style.
Yeah, in your head, just kind of describe like like how that would be, like what you might find here, like, and go ahead and write that down.
All right. And then I imagine I'd go through the rest of them and be like, oh, most of these are just out of our last year's style.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be cut dead in this.
This one's pretty good though.
I was also wondering, like, could we can't use the clothes to start a fire, right?
You can do what you want.
Yeah, it's almost certainly possible. Especially depending on, like, I think from what I understand, silk is pretty flammable.
Yeah, because, like, there's the thought of just burning this entire place to the ground because
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be up anymore, but
Hey Elizabeth. Hey Elizabeth. Sounds like they're trying to be like me. Oh, when I did that to Andy, it's funny. It's funny.
You mean I did that to Andy?
No. I did that to Andy. I burnt his whole fucking house. No, yeah, I made you do it though. Come on.
That's yeah.
Are you sure you haven't
Classic
played
John.
Call of Cthulhu?
That's what we were doing. Yeah, that was Call of
Yeah.
Cthulhu.
Back when
I
we
was gonna
played.
say, like, that's like how the majority of
Andrew got
those
sick of the
campaigns
voodoo,
either.
was like, you know what? Burn this whole fucking house down.
So there was
Yeah.
a ghost that was attacking me, and it was trying to like kill everybody, and it was using like all these death instruments to do it. And I was like, "Well, this place is made out of wood, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, well, let's go."
Burn it.
Yeah, that game usually involves either burning the house down or wishing you had burnt the house down.
is it just this upper part of it that's made out of wood?
Yeah. So it does look like a lot of it is made out of stone. So that
Okay.
is definitely an inhibition. It does look like a lot of the wood portions were added in. So
Okay.
it definitely looks like there's stone layering underneath them, and the wood flooring was kind of placed on top of it. So lighting a fire in here would cause a lot of smoke and heat inside of the space and be like kiln-like for a while, but ultimately the structure wouldn't.
It'll
fall.
stay. Okay. Damn.
Well, you know what's really good at compromising stone structures? Shatter!
True.
Guess what we don't have though?
Bard, we have it. We have it. We got it.
Oh, we do.
Balgar's got
oh.
it. Yeah.
Ah.
Not Hezrodian levels of shatter.
Remember, he shattered and killed
Yeah.
all the fireflies in the entire setting.
all
That's
of all of the
true.
fireflies
All
are
of
out.
them, every single one.
And then I believe Jonah finished the job on all insects by murdering Hive round one with a single fucking turn of shooting. Yeah, so there are no insects in this campaign setting anymore. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No.
So
Okay,
I'm
well,
only
I guess it's only a matter of time until the food web collapses and everybody dies.
That's it.
I'm only gonna take enough clothes that I can pack. So
Okay.
like at least 20 pounds, right?
No, highly unlikely. It's probably more likely that you're able to get 2 outfits.
Damn.
You have
Okay.
a backpack, and it has a spatial limitation.
Have you
Yeah.
ever seen how many layers bards wear?
Yeah. And better question:
Yeah.
have you ever packed to go somewhere?
I was about to say, you're married, John. He could probably realistically fit 4 in there if we're yelling at him.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Because you know how it is. It's like you're only gonna fit 2 in there, and then somehow
I'm gonna
4.
piss myself. That's funny. You're married.
If you,
If you only knew, my man.
if you only knew what kind of clothes Laura
Oh my
wore.
goodness. So many clothes.
So many fluffy clothes.
Indeed.
So
Not so
many
fluffy
ruffles.
anymore, but yeah.
That's true. There's still a lot of ruffles though.
So, you take the clothes, you sort through the clothes. James doesn't seem to be terribly interested in that. Is very focused on the goat and kind of has like a moment at the end of your sorting where you kind of leave a pile of clothes kind of on the floor. He kind of ahas and kind of points at his book and says, "I thought I recognized this creature."
Yeah, Glint was very curious because at first he was like, it just seems like a ram, but James seems to be very focused on it.
It's a Blezau.
Gesundheit.
He nods his
That's
head.
That's a fiend.
It's a type of Tanari, correct? Glint, that is accurate. It's very rare to have a corpse of a demon in the material.
Yeah. Is it still alive?
No, obviously not. He kind of reaches up and stabs it with his short sword. It doesn't come at him and attack.
Does it lower the
How'd
quality
they
of his
manage
weapon?
to do that?
They must have killed it on its native plane. And so I'm going to post a picture of the creature in our Discord here. Just so everybody knows what a Bulezau looks like.
Oh,
Oh, it's cute.
It's just the head, though.
Oh,
metal as fuck.
that's the
I like
cutest
it.
part.
So then, yeah. Orlandis will take, the 2 pairs of clothes and then he'll continue onward
This is more the one I'm kind of familiar with from 3rd edition.
where everyone else is.
I like
His
the
spear and his
third
tail
better.
look similar.
Yeah.
Cute.
For those watching and playing the home game, a Beleza was a familiar of one Durin Balcard, played by Dieter Einhorn. But anyway, moving along. So Lose, as you kind of hear them congregating, discussing booze and clothes, it did seem like you were heading towards the steel door. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay, it opens, soundly enough. Oh wow. Okay, hold on.
Uh-oh.
So it is one of those doors that when you open it, it immediately shuts behind you.
Oh, okay. Fully?
Uh-huh. So it's
Oh,
it's
fuck.
it's kind of like that snap door that
Oh.
you pass through when you kind of entered into that one space. So as you
Okay.
kind of pass through it, Cassia, you see the door slam shut, and she kind of on the opposite side, sees it shut. Do you attempt to open the door, Lose, behind you?
Yes.
It does not open.
No!
However, you do see a very massive double door in front of you that has kind of French-style windows set inside of the steel framing of it, and you can see outside.
Like outside.
Outside. Like, this is the
Oh.
front door.
Can Castia push the door without going through it so she could come back?
Yeah, so you push the door open, and Lose, if you wanted to, you could grab the door and enter back in. But if everybody
Okay.
goes through this door, you will be barred out of the space.
I'm already a bard, though.
Barred out. Gain inspiration, that was solid.
He's full of them. I like it.
Very good. Puns.
Yeah,
The thing you'll
so
notice.
if-
Oh, go
oh,
ahead.
go
Sorry. You go.
If Castia opens the door, she'd go back in after kind of scanning the room.
Okay. You would see that there are 2 statues. They both appear to be of angels. One appears to be of kind of an angelic warrior on the northern side, and the one on the southern side appears to be more kind of traditional angel. Seraphim-y, kind of like,
And what are these?
Those are sconces. They don't appear to have any torches in them.
Okay.
And this space is much more crypt-like than the rest of the house has been. You've seen traces of this kind of design kind of behind some of the spaces, like when he opened up the beer door, the walls kind of on the more noticeably stone walls have this kind of accentuation. It appears that this house was built inside of a massive crypt.
Fitting.
Spooky.
Fitting, yeah.
hmm
But when Lose opens the door, you go back in, is what you said?
Yeah. Well, when Castia opens.
Cassia, you're Lose.
I'm Lose. Yeah.
Sorry.
Or is she?
Dun dun dun.
Bum.
Okay, so
Extra
looks like
spooky.
Orlandis, after kind of securing the clothes, let you come over and see what's going on. Do you check for the clothes? Are you wanting anything?
No, I've got plenty of clothes.
Okay. You were heading over here for a reason then?
Yeah, I was seeing because obviously James is pretty focused on that.
He starts discussing the Belezau rather,
Yeah.
and kind of explaining that they are a tonnery, which again is just a phrase or term that focuses on demons that are bound in the gates, the 13 gates. Sorry, correction. Deities that are not bound inside of the 13 gates. Opposite. Tonari are free. They are inside the abyss. The abyss is a connection between the points of the gates, like the depths of the gates, and the elemental chaos. The gates themselves reside inside of the astral sea. So this creature is not a gate-bound demon.
So they killed it out here on the material plane. It didn't disappear.
Right. Or more likely, they killed it in the abyss.
Hmm. Well,
They're very violence-craving demons. They have a very primal fury and a bestial brutality based on the notes. They have similar traits to minotaurs in their puzzling out of things. And putting this to a magic terminology, they're demonic minotaurs. They're very similar to like a Zedru or kind of the goat-like minotaurs of the setting. They're effectively the offspring of Baphomet.
well, I mean, yeah, the fact that they were able to mount an assault like that and then bring the remains back here to mount them.
Denotes that they are not weak.
Yeah,
People you
that
are facing off here.
takes considerate resources.
For certain.
Considerable resources. Shit. Okay, so we've got this door here that you said leads to the outside.
So yeah, it looks like everybody's kind of heading north. And Balgar, after kind of taking a sip, you see Glint kind of moving towards that doorway. It looks like James is shutting his book. Astrogoth, you see James kind of heading, along with Glint. I'm assuming you go as well, and Balgar heading that way as well. Dope.
Find some to prop that door open.
So Lose and Cassia, you figure out the door is going to shut, and as you kind of play test it and kind of try and figure out its strength, it is going to snap shut with a very strong force that will be inhibited by a person kind of standing in the way. But you're pretty sure that if you kind of put something less sturdy than a person in there, it's not going to keep it open. It'll snap through it.
But if we found a brick,
Maybe.
a couple of bricks,
Maybe. You think that
I
the
was
force
thinking-
exerted on it, it's not so much... Let me explain it. So you would note that it's not so much a matter of strength as well, but it's also a matter of kind of placement of that strength. So let me explain. Like if you're lifting a couch, right? There's certain ways you can hold the couch that will be less strenuous than if you were holding it different ways. The door, if you kind of put a brick in between it and the gap, it's going to be exerting force on that brick and forcing it one way or the other, which will eventually cause it to slide out and pop away. Mortal intervention is going to be required for it to kind of maintain that positioning, or some strange amount of crazy artifice to kind of prop the door open.
So, two ideas. One, try to identify and disable the mechanism that is forcing the door to close again. Two, take one of these big ass chairs down here and stick that in the doorway.
Yeah, it'll pop the chair easily.
Okay.
The chairs are made out of wood and will kind of fall apart if kind of exerted force in a way that's not conducive with being sat upon. Which, again, it definitely won't be because it's coming at very different angles. For your first question, though, or your first idea, I would need somebody to make a Thieves' Tools intelligence check to determine whether or not the mechanism of the slam shut door is something you could mess with.
Now, that's not like physically utilizing the tools, right?
So you just need to use the thieves' tools intelligence check to determine. Yeah, it's not actually using the tools.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that.
I can do it as well, but
Why don't we help each other on that one?
sure.
What's your intelligence modifier?
1.
Okay, so I've got a 2. So why don't you go ahead and help me?
Yeah. I thought it was higher.
Okay, cool. So I got a 25, natural 20.
Do you want me to roll as well, or
No. Help will just give him advantage.
okay?
Yep.
All right.
So yeah, you would determine that the hinges are the main culprit, and if you actually pop out the tools and utilize them, obviously you know how to, so it won't require another check. You're able to disable the mechanism and open the door, and it is now locked open and cannot be shut. These are the only two states it can be in: completely open, or I'm going to close no matter what you try to do.
Okay, excellent.
And if you want to shut this door, it'll take an action to remove what you placed.
Okay. Is there anything I can do to make it like even more difficult for them to do that?
To close it?
Yeah, to make it more difficult for them to undo what I've done.
Rip the doors off the hinges.
I would say with that, you're basically able to make it so it's going to take 2 actions to close because it's 2 actual hinges. So you're actually going to secure some sort of wedge inside of there. Do you have pittons?
I believe I used them to orchestrate that rope thing that got us down into that initial tunnel.
I would say you'd have at least 2 left. That's fine. So you're able to secure them in that way. The pittons are now completely obliterated. You have none of them. But yeah, the door would require 2 actions to close it. And
Excellent.
that's for you or others.
Excellent.
Inside of this chamber, you would see that there are 2 statues and the door that leads out. This appears to be some sort of foyer, kind of entrance hall, like receiving room. And from what you can tell from the ledger, this is after they move into that space and are allowed in by some attendant. They would then sign themselves in and enter into the manor.
Okay, I'm very curious about this. I don't see any. I'm sorry. Statues are over here. Okay.
Yeah.
What's this little like tea table?
Yeah, we discussed it. So it is a tea table, and then next to it is a ledger. Basically, people sign in when they enter into the space.
Okay. Is this a door?
Yeah, so that's the door with it looks like the back of a bookshelf.
Mahogany bookshelf.
And then
Right.
this is a regular ass door. And then to the north up here, there's a window that leads out.
Okay. Did we check these doors?
Not yet.
Not yet.
So, real quick, as focusing on you two kind of working together, that'd be Ashergoth and Lint, kind of focusing on the door and kind of securing it. While that's happening, I just wanted to make sure everybody else has anything, like if you want to do something else. So Lose, if you want to investigate those doors, you can, or if you want to, kind of move into the space that they're securing the door and check it out a bit further.
Yeah.
And then
I was
Cassia,
gonna
you were
check out the weird one.
okay. You were with Lose. She does look like she's moving to the weird bookshelf door as they're kind of fucking with stuff. But what do you want to do?
I had to step away for a few minutes. Has somebody looked through the ledger yet,
No.
or just that it exists?
Just
I would
that
like
it's-
to do that
Great.
to see who has visited.
Are you looking for anybody specific? Because again, a lot of these names are not going to matter to you, and it is kind of like a buffering of just like names that don't matter. But are there any names that you're looking for specifically that you want to check and see if are in this ledger?
I gotta pull up my notes and get them to sync apparently. But the house, the family where the airship crashed, where
Family
there was
where
the
the
genocide.
airship crashed.
Yeah.
Crap.
Sorry, I don't have the name in front of me because
No
my
worries.
notes app is apparently
So
not
yeah,
connected right now.
you would definitely find about 10 days ago, Rotilda's name is signed into the ledger. It looks like she arrived here early morning and visited this house.
Okay.
That bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Well, she did now.
Sorry, on that point, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Me?
Yep.
Got this.
I'm not great at perception.
Okay. Kind of keeping an eye out, just like looking at the pages.
Mhm.
You see the name, you find it, but nothing else kind of stands out to you.
Can we take the book?
Yeah.
I will take the book.
It's heavy. I will state that, but it's only about 5 pounds.
Okay. Yeah, I've got carrying weight for
plenty
that.
of space, so no problem.
Okay.
All
I
right.
mean, they already knew we were here, and I don't know a lot of names, so.
So to be sure, Losei's checking the book. Or sorry, no. Cassia's checking the book.
Bookcase.
Losei is moving over to the bookshelf door. That's how I got across. Astergoth
Book.
and Glint are focusing on the door and disabling its mechanism. Orlandis and Balgar, let's focus on you two. Whichever one of you wants to pop in first. What are you two doing while doors being fucked with, doors being checked, and ledgers being looked at?
Has this door has it been looked at? Is it a
It's
door?
not. Yeah, there's a
Okay.
door on the opposite side if you want to go check it out.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll open it up, see what's in there.
While you're doing that, Balgar, what do you want to do? Show Vogorak. If you're talking.
He said he had to walk away for a few minutes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that. Sorry, my bad. No worries then. Cool. Then Orlandis, you open up the door,
Yeah.
and inside you find what appears to be a little office space with a bunch of scrolls.
Oh.
A very, very, very ornate-looking silk-covered chair made out of a darkish wood. There are some ledgers kind of out on the table. A very fine, bright red quill, and 2 shelves that are again just kind of filled with these scrolls. On the top of the
Gotcha.
smaller of the shelves, you do see a very large green bottle that does appear to have markings on it that denote it is from Ikashad, which is kind of the lands to the northwest of Jernaris. Ikashad is very renowned for its magical acumen. Ikashad is also noted as being a land of kind of cosmopolitan elements. It is very much kind of think of Constantinople at its prime, at its peak.
Gotcha. Okay.
Very much what we're talking about here when we think of Ikashad.
Alright. I will definitely take that green bottle.
Okay.
And then I want to rummage through this, like, basically for all the papers
Mhm.
that are concerning the agitators, the Lycoi, and probably any trade that has to do with Marshtown.
Investigation.
Okay.
And we'll get back to you. As you're doing so, you do hear a very kind of sudden shift in the wall behind you to the left, and
shit.
you immediately kind of look in that direction to see Losei pushing over one of the bookshelves and coming through on the opposite side.
Okay. I got a nat 20 on the.
Oh, damn, okay. Gangster. So you see Orlandis kind of scurrying through the papers on the table. You see him kind of look at this blue book in the corner, kind of reach over and grab it, break it open, and take a look. And reading it, you realize that all of your movements that are optically noticeable are written down in this book regarding the agitators. So it looks like whoever holds this
Spooky.
desk is very familiar with your actions.
Don't like that.
Even like the ones that aren't necessarily known.
So this would be
Publicly?
most of the front-facing actions. So anything that you've
Okay.
done operationally, like if you kind of scroll towards the more recent entries, you would see that they noted that agitators were present at the lakeside house and defeated strange subterranean creatures. Like these kind of front-facing things. There's even like a notation
Oh.
that a disturbance in a well being dug by the apple monger was looked upon by the agitators. Like it seems that whoever this individual is, whoever this person is, has eyes on a lot of what's happening with the agitators.
Okay.
Oh, so they knew we were sneaking in.
They probably didn't know for sure. Like, because again, you did come a pretty fucking weird way to get in here, but yeah.
Yeah. It's not like a step by step.
There's probably notation that they knew you were in Tarn.
Mm,
But besides that, there's no notice of them understanding how you came to be here. I'd say the most recent documentation in the book is probably the notation that a group of agitators had a Tarn town.
okay. But not that we're going through the sewers.
Right.
And...
Because again, there's no way they would have been able to track that unless one of you is a
Right.
traitor. Which again would be rad, but I haven't worked that out with anybody. So not too late, Zach, if you wanna me. But yeah, that book definitely seems to be a ledger that has been accounting for all of Albrecht's movements.
I'm definitely gonna take that. 100%.
The other thing you would note that is it is written in the common tongue, but it is written in a very Jernaran hand. So it doesn't appear to be Denisotvan. Nothing in this space seems to be Denisotvan.
Okay.
All right. Clint,
what
after
are-
securing the door, you kind of pop in. Cassia, you're still going over the book, and as you kind of finish with it, you do see Clint kind of heading in that way. Bulgar's catching up with the group, and James is very much kind of just staying back, looking around, seemingly keeping an eye out for everything that you're kind of missing, but it seems like he's looking for stuff specifically. And as you kind of reflect back on that, Cassia, you remember seeing the book that he's now kind of got on his belt, sitting near the why is my brain not able to? What is the name of that instrument? Oh my god!
The organ?
The organ. I feel so stupid. So it was not too far away from the organ. So it would seem that James picked it up after or during the fight.
Did we determine what that bottle of green stuff was?
It's green.
It's Nickelodeon slime.
Yeah. Glenn's gonna take it and attempt to identify it, and even if he can't identify it, he's gonna take it with him.
Hold on. I'm going to make sure you understand. It is green. That is all.
You're green.
It's not like glued to the table?
Nope. It's already been picked
Okay.
up by somebody. Orlandis has
No,
it.
yeah. Glenn picks it up.
Well, Orlandis has it.
Say what?
Orlandis took it. The green bottle, right?
Oh.
Yeah, I took it a while ago.
This one?
Oh, okay. Okay, then yeah, Orlandis can keep it.
What are these scrolls?
So they seem to be, as you're kind of looking through them, they seem to be documentation regarding kind of a front-facing lordly position. Some of them appear to be, especially the ones on the smaller shelf, appear to be outbound messages to individuals regarding kind of lordly things, like just simple keeping of the political base and also maintaining the security of the town. None of them seem to be directed particularly towards a individual in the Denisotvan entourage. They seem to be just kind of general notices from the Lycoi estate. The ones on the northern side appear to be more, especially the larger scrolls on top, appear to be blueprints, specifically for the house. And then others appear to be delvings into the sewers around the area.
Oh, this might be useful.
One of them appears to be an entirely full map of the remnants of the merfolk town near the arena.
Oh. Might be useful.
Yeah. I'd take the sort of like maps and
Okay.
architectural drawings.
So Lose and Glint are kind of like focused on the maps. Orlandis is sitting at the table, kind of quickly going through the ledger, kind of with a probably like a raised out eyebrow, all of the rock, kind of like, like, this is interesting. They know everything. Kind of shutting the book and like placing it in his bag. Cassia is kind of walking around to the side. James is kind of looking out at the two statues and kind of just mutters as Cassia is passing by. This is where they took me, and this is where I fought them.
And then did they read your diary? And she'll point at the book that apparently he retrieved from.
Good eye. I believe the master of the house was interested in what I was writing down. Must be why he had it at his table side. He gestures like it out to you, like as if he's kind of offering it to you. If you'd like to take a look, it's nothing more than a old monster hunter's notes on what he's encountered throughout his troubling life.
Well, I didn't know about vampires, so maybe I do need to study up. So she'll take it and kind of flip through it.
So if you have the book on you, anytime you're making a knowledge roll related to any type of undead, aberration, magical or monstrosity, or what was the other one? Angel or devil, celestial or fiend. You're going to get a +2 to that roll.
Pretty good.
Hey, any bonuses, Andy?
Maybe Casty will actually know something.
And if you want to put it on your character sheet, notated as James's turn.
Cute little diary moment.
Who am I missing? Oh, Balgar. So yeah, they kind of spread out. There's a, as I mentioned, clear window, door there, space that enters into two statues appears to be the foyer. Anything that you're interested in focusing in on there, Joe?
It's fine now.
Okay. Just catching up with the group, hanging out with Caspian. See James pass over the book. Okay. Cycling back around. Chad, what do you got?
Glint's gonna go ahead and open up this door in front of him.
No, he's not. It's locked.
Oh, well. Check it for traps and then unlock it.
It's not trapped. And you can feel free to try to unlock it.
These tools.
I got a DC in mind. Show me what you got.
25.
Yep, so you'll break one lockpick. As you attempt to unlock it, what you realize is that this glowing green energy appears as you fuck with the tumblers, and then you hear a loud sudden crunch as you pull the picks out, and you realize that this is marked by an arcane lock. A spell that grants a +10 to the DC of the...
I need to be way more specific when I say check for traps.
It's not a trap. It's just an arcane lock.
Okay.
Yeah, it basically the pick breaking is a part of the arcane lock's nature.
He kind of scowls. He says, clearly something very important on the other side of this door.
Are we thinking about leaving soon? I might be able to do something about that, but
Oh, sorry, I apologize. There's one small thing I forgot to mention. Inside of the office space, there is a window.
A window?
Yeah. Second window we've come across. This one has its blinds drawn. But when you open up, you would see the bright red flowers that kind of set on the back of Sepulture's mound, and kind of looking out that way, you can just barely make out the pommel of the sword of the type.
Oh. That's pretty cool.
And sorry, what did you get on your investigate? You got a 22. So Orlandis, as you're fucking around with that book and kind of looking through the drawers, you actually realize that there appears to be some strange sort of device settled underneath the desk. And you kind of drop down below and kind of look at it, and it looks like a very small, like, copper lever that it's pushed inwards that you could pull towards you, and it would kind of like create that lever action.
I'll pull it, see what happens.
The wall behind the desk falls away.
Oh shit.
It just drops.
Is
That's
it
actually
loud?
spooky.
Yeah, pretty loud.
Okay, I will
It's kind of like a
check it.
nice search, so everyone would kind of be aware of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna reassure everyone. Everything is fine.
Is it?
I have found a new door. And then he's gonna check it.
Yeah, so you kind of hop over the desk to get to it. It does look like the desk is very large and hard to move, but as you kind of look at it and kind of inspect it, you would notice that it appears to have been slid northbound a number of times. Looks like the carpet kind of has a bit of trudging from where the legs have been kind of pushed up that way.
Gotcha.
But you hop over it because it's easier. The desk looks like it's a pretty good 500 pounds.
Jesus.
So whoever's moving it is supernaturally
He's
strong.
strong. Yeah.
Hopping inside there is a basin, gold, kind of a beautiful like gold coloration, like a high polished gold. And inside is a soft blue water that just seems to kind of have like a radiance to it.
Okay.
There are strange words around the basin, and there appear to be like eagle talons, like fingers that are kind of curled up around the basin. The arcane words look like they don't really make much sense to you, but perhaps if they're read off by a spellcaster, something might happen.
That's a
Yeah.
scrying pool, baby. That's
I'm gonna Orlandis is gonna call out to someone with magic. He's just gonna say, I need someone here that can read arcane sigils.
okay.
Not me. Steps aside.
Well, it's just like fuck magic. So I would say your two main arcanists would probably be Balgar and Astrogoth.
Okay.
So whichever of those two you feel like would be the one you want to drag into the little cubby.
Whichever one. I mean, whichever one feels comfortable.
Who's closest to him?
Equidistant.
You can go.
Yeah, make sure you read
I
them out
will.
in the form of dutes.
Do 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 do.
Perfect.
So if
Yeah,
you
I'll
go
go.
in there,
Or well, actually, let me put it this way: do you have Arcana as a trained skill? Because I actually don't have it trained.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, shit.
Then you should go.
Balgar to be the one.
I
Okay.
do it.
So when you go inside, you see that this strange kind of pool of water does have these strange markings on it. You would know how to read them, but more importantly, go ahead and make an Arcana check. You do not know what they will do.
Inspiration.
Do you want to use your inspiration, or does somebody want to use it?
I'll give him mine if
Jonah?
he doesn't have it.
Okay. So then, because you're inspired by Orlandis and his just cool guy nature, you would think about it a bit harder, and you would realize that this pool is not it's not terrible, but it's definitely a means of escape. So it looks like it's kind of like a last-ditch effort. If the words are read, the water will summon forth a weird. And the weird will drag whoever says the words and anyone who's with that person out from this place to somewhere else.
Alrighty.
Maybe James can bless that water too.
James will say, "Yeah, sure can."
Oh, that's
Hell
actually fucking
yeah.
amazing.
He'll walk
Oh
over.
my god.
You see him kind of like ask for a couple of resources. Someone probably has salt on their person. There's a larder downstairs, and he manifests enough stuff to take the 10 minutes to bless the water.
Oh,
That's going to be a very fiery escape for somebody,
that
baby.
was so fucking funny. Get me out of here! Oh god, it burns!
I don't think you could turn the entirety of the elemental plane of water into holy water. But
You
enough
could try.
Has anyone ever tried?
It's a great question. And the answer is no.
It's not going to be a good time, at least, at the very least.
For certain.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what James will be doing for a little while. What do folks want to try to do next?
I was
I
gonna.
think we're nearing the point where we're gonna try to leave here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. If we think that we're going to leave, I can try to dispel magic on the door that Glint was picking. It's just, it's a precious resource if we're gonna be in here for a while still. That's
Yeah,
Right.
He's. I believe Tom is saying if we're planning on leaving, she'll do
correct.
it.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
otherwise, hell no.
I wouldn't waste it.
That's an upcast fucking moonbeam.
I wouldn't waste it.
I mean, if we're leaving, I'm not concerned about saving the resource. That like we have the door literally right over there. So if we're trying to get out of here.
Let's take it to a democratic process. Who wants to open strange door that's locked? Zach, yay or nay?
Sure, why not? It's never
Sure.
screwed us over before.
Lose or Elizabeth rather, yay or nay? Contrarian eyes. I'm feeling a nay. You're muted, I think.
Am I?
Now
Oh,
you're
Yeah, now you're.
Sorry. I want to open the door, but I don't think that Lose would necessarily care.
We're kind of focused on the player, like instead of
Yeah.
the cat.
Yeah.
We're trying to plan what we're doing here
Let's
as far as
open the door.
Okay, that's 2 for the door.
Sorry.
Let's see. Joe, door or no door?
Yay.
Yeah, so that's
All right.
great.
that's I'll dispel magic on the arcane lock.
All right.
Yeah.
And then if you move to open it, Glint, after the arcane materia is kind of broken from it, the door lock is insanely easy to pick based on your last roll, since you have an understanding outside of its arcane nature. That said, opening up and inside, you see a nice bookshelf, and seated right in front of it, a large wooden chest. And then looking to the right, you see a wardrobe that is very ornately crafted and designed. And it looks like the wardrobe's top area is just a double door, but settled on the bottom, there appears to be a very metal-looking cabinet that appears to have a door handle on it, like it's something a bit more secure.
He immediately pulls out a hand crossbow and shoots the chest.
Hey, fall for that shit again?
You hear laughter from behind you. From James.
John pulls out the monster manual.
It's not the monster manual. But yeah.
I saw a purple cover.
Oh no. It's a good book.
Mm.
So
Bang bang, motherfucker.
you enter into the space, and again, it doesn't look like anything is kind of threatening you or attacking you.
Yeah, I mean, he is like mindful and looking for traps and anything unusual.
That's perfectly fine. So the winning vote was Joe. Castia was the one who initiated, and Glint was the one who kind of opened the lock. So each one of you go ahead and roll a d100 for me.
God, that's pressure.
Ooh, baby.
So 46.
Nice.
What do you got, Tom?
A 12.
Okay, and then for you, Joe.
What am I rolling?
72. D100.
Oh, d100. Sorry, sir.
Three.
Okay, so as you're searching these things, there is no like defense or anything crazy like that. Nothing scary. Nothing going to kill you. But what you'll notice is that on the bookshelf, as you're searching, there is a potion. The potion in question appears to have a kind of purplish pink coloration to it. And let me just check and make sure. Any notation here regarding that said pot? Yeah, nothing crazy or anything beside that. Just kind of like a nice kind of pink coloration to it. Seated on the bookshelf, kind of out in front of the books. The books in question appear to be just fiction. Nothing terribly like eye-catching, with the exception of a book called well, that stands out to you, Glint?
Kinkosaurus Rex.
Kinkosaurus Rex is the name of the book. It is called Kaizak, is the name of the book.
Not how to win friends and influence vampires.
No. And
Okay.
this one is a work in progress. I do have to check my notes, but the book in question, I kind of have a Elder Scrolls mentality on lore books. So I open that to everybody. If you ever take the time and are interested in reading the shit, do keep in mind this one is in progress. It's got the brackets. I have to check my notes to make sure the names of the characters are correct.
Is there a lusty Denisovian maid?
I think it says it's like brackets Ian's character, and if anybody knows Ian in this group, I think Chad's probably the only one. We love Ian. We stan Ian. For a long time, he was the only person who ever watched my fucking. Oh, Joe knows Ian. Joe fucking
Yeah.
knows Ian. Hell yeah. Joe was there when Ian was taken over by the purple dragon and had to fight his whole fucking party.
Oh no.
Oh, Ian's stupid. I love that kid. I miss him. But anyway, back on target. So yeah, just that book and the potion on the bookshelf. Inside. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I guess he'll take that book
Yeah, sure.
and to expand his library.
And the potion. Absolutely fine. And then for the wardrobe, inside of there, as you kind of shuffle through it, this was Balgar. As you're kind of shuffling through it, you find that there is a really cool backpack in there. A nice haversack.
Cool.
And then
Now Jonah can take all those clothes.
True that.
yay, clothes.
Yay.
Castia, you kind of watch as Glint checks the chest, and then kind of looks up at the bookshelf. Kind of impatient, you walk over and kind of open the chest and just look inside. And there is a really nice looking, what appears to be a rapier, very fine and ornate, settled inside of the cushion, and next to it is a paired parrying dagger.
No spear?
Seems to be a very nice ornate duelist set of an elvish make.
Y'all can fight over that later. Let's.
Okay. Glint will go ahead and take them.
Was they gonna stab you in the dark?
Maybe, but Lose also doesn't favor dual wielding.
Correct. Well, that you know of.
I mean, if you do, that's fair.
We haven't seen
We
all
haven't fought enough.
Yeah.
I haven't had enough duels. I'm
Saying we need to fight
fighting
more?
too many monsters.
But this also frees up a silvered rapier for other people to use. Which isn't magical, but close enough.
If Balgar kind of enters into the space and kind of looks at it, he will know, because he's trained in Arcana and has the skill trick, that the bag, the potion, and the swords, both of them, are magical.
Nice.
We can at least put them in the handy dandy
Treasury.
treasury.
Yeah, we'll have to identify them later.
Yeah, I don't want to stand here and ritual cast at this place. That's
Okay. So if the plan is to migrate out of this space, how are you planning on getting out of here? Out the front door?
Jumping through the window.
Jumping through the window?
I don't think we want to
Go
jump
on,
through
go
that
on.
window because that's all the deadly flowers.
Mhm.
Right.
Are
Avoid
we
that.
are we checking in here?
You can.
That's the front door.
Oh, this is the front door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the foyer. It has 2 statues. Nobody's really looked around. Someone asked questions about the sconces, but nothing's really there.
I think Chad was gonna look at the statues before we got distracted by this door. I don't.
Are you
somebody
trying
was
to
going.
push Chad
Something
out
like
to
that, yeah.
possibly dangerous exploration tasks?
He likes checking paintings and statues, and
I see you, Tom. I fucking see you. Okay. Looks like Chad likes checking shit.
I'm not perceptive. It's not gonna be me.
Looks like I have a guinea pig. Let's fucking rock. Let's fucking...
Yeah.
Checking things out as Hezrod was so much easier. What happens if I break this? What happens if I break this?
Josie would be mad at you, probably.
Mhm.
Yeah.
About it.
So was this indeed the front door? I thought the
Yeah, front ass
the
door.
window. So we've got the window this way that looks out over the flowers. Then we got
Yeah.
the window this way.
That leads out towards the northern side of Sepulchre's Barrow.
Okay,
you can
and
see
flowers
We
out.
have the maps.
No flowers out that way. Flowers are
Okay.
only on the eastern side of the Barrow. And
Okay.
then front door leads out to the town where Dennis Otvins are located, but also possible chances of moving around, manipulating, trying to sneak out. Entirely up to you. And then you could go back the way you came.
Okay. So I'm heading out here. 2 things. I'm looking for traps. I'm also looking for magical. I say traps, but I mean like prepared spells, that kind of shit.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Okay. Anything special about these statues, or are they just representative of significant individuals?
Statue on the northern side appears to be a bit more of a warrior type of angel. But
Okay.
instead of carrying a weapon, they're kind of like leaning on a pillar, and in the one hand they seem to have, or arm rather, they kind of have a bouquet of flowers kind of tucked in their arm. The one on the southern side appears to be a more kind of tropian angel, like very, elegant looking, things kind of outspread, and just much more in line with your normal picturing of what an angel would be.
He's gonna check the doors, see if they're locked, and then he's just gonna is there like a keyhole he can look through?
No, there's windows. They're like French windows.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna peek through the windows.
Yeah, it's outside. It is Sepulchre's Barrow, the town, or the district. Fuck you. The district that you're familiar with. This is an angle that you haven't seen it in. So in between this location where you're at and the town you are familiar with, the part of the town you are familiar with, there are a bunch of crypts and there are a bunch of like gravestones and markers in between here and there. For a reminder, I'll go ahead and slap us onto End Barrow for a second. The music will
Dun,
shift.
dun, dun, dun.
And so
This
you're
place is
looking.
fucking massive.
I'm shift pinging. So
Yeah.
this is the door you're currently in.
Mm-hmm.
And before anybody
Okay.
asks, the exact dimensionality is perfect with the house interior. I am back to being attentive.
That's gorgeous.
Wait, we also know that there's a couple of more layers too. But we have the map of the
Right.
house, right?
So far as to say, you found no ways of going up into a second floor.
Are they on the maps that we found?
No, there's no maps of the interior. The maps that you found were maps. Sorry,
of
sorry. It had the mapping.
underground.
It had the mapping of the floors where construction was done. So the wooden portions, that appears to be
Oh.
notated in those maps. It's like an architectural notation of how the parlor was built and how the dining room was built with the
Individually.
upper. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It wasn't the
Okay.
whole house's blueprints. I didn't explain that.
So
I apologize.
we can leave through the front door. We can leave through the window.
Mhm.
And then there's that other window that goes this way.
Yeah, which you don't want to do because red flower.
We don't do that.
Mhm.
The safest way for us to leave, if we want to like try to be discreet about it, is probably go through the window, head out this way to the wilderness, and try to circle back to that dead giant. or to go like the very long way all the way around the barrow to try and get back to the city.
Hmm.
Do they not
Uh,
have tourists here?
No.
One
Nobody's
thing,
allowed in.
one thing Orlandis does want to do is he wants to reset that door, where with the teleporting basin.
In the
So
office.
it's up. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
flip
it's up
the
again.
desk switch again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no problem. That's fine.
yeah, that's
It
smart.
causes the door to shut and it's loud again.
Do we want to start a fire?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Where do we want to start this fire at?
Every room.
Glint has 2 flasks of lantern oil and 6 torches.
I'm taking no part of this. And eating myself out the window.
There's a big part of Orlandis that wants to just set this shit on fire, but it wouldn't help any. So Orlandis is just gonna go. He's gonna follow whichever direction people want to go.
Yeah, because I think we've lost the element of surprise. There's not really any point in us sticking around.
Absolutely.
We got a lot of info. Although we have to be careful about who we share that info with, apparently.
True that.
What about all the ale, bro? How are we getting that shit back to Albert?
You were
Put it in the
able to-
haversack.
Hold on a second, actually. I'm
I
not,
think the haversack can
I'm not-
hold up to 50.
I'm not checking anything for purposes. Yeah, the haversack's not going to carry much alcohol.
Not with that attitude.
I mean, we could just skip the barrels and just like dump all the liquid in the haversack.
You
Hmm.
ruined the interior.
You don't know for certain that it's a Heward's handy haversack. It hasn't been.
Yeah, that's
identified.
true. And we have yet to acquire a bag of holding.
That would be the way to go, though. Bag of holding.
We're gonna buy one.
250 pounds of fucking ale,
500.
and then when you want to drink it, just pull the bag open.
Like Thor's endless
convert it.
cup.
Hell
Sounds
yeah, hell yeah!
amazing.
Just pours out everywhere.
It just turns into the biggest fucking wineskin ever.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
You just put your cup
That
in.
sounds like a plan.
You mean ale? Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Okay, that's inspiration worthy. I'll grant it.
I already have inspiration, so I'll
Pass it.
give it to somebody else. Jonah, you spent yours.
Hell yeah.
It was for a pun. You're not giving tribute to the pun queen.
I already have inspiration. Thank you.
Well, he could have gave it to you, and you could have given it to Jonah.
That's true.
Anyway, are we leaving north? Are we leaving out the front door? How are we doing it?
We're leaving north.
Okay. And again, the books that were taken, just to be sure, the ledger,
Yes.
the tracking of Alberic's agitators,
100%.
maps,
Yes.
all the ones that you saw,
Which are the wooden portions of the manor, the merfolk area by the arena,
correct?
the barrow.
Correct.
Was
So
that right?
the
And
ma-
then
the map to the barrow.
uh,
Let me be specific about that one. This isn't about the manor. This is about the crypts that are outside of it. It has
Yeah.
denotation as to who is buried where.
who's buried where, and then the tunnels.
So this is basically a backtrack of what you had already explored.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Orlandis can detail those maps. If they're not already detailed.
Mhm.
Because cartographer's tools.
Hell
Yep.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. And then
And
that was
then-
it, right?
We're taking at least 2 barrels of ale.
How?
Straight.
In his stomach. We also took the guest book. I have the guest
Alcohol
book.
poisoning.
So-
That's the ledger.
Hold on. 30-gallon barrel.
I posted what the barrel sizes are.
What are they?
It's
Maybe 30-gallon. That's what we're looking at.
30-gallon is called a barrel.
Yeah. That's
Okay. A gallon of water weighs 8 pounds. So
Weight
you are looking at
when-
240 pounds plus the barrel weight, which is probably another 40 pounds.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind then. We're not taking a barrel.
The barrel,
I-
when plastic, is 12 pounds, so it'd probably be 4 times that. So 40 is a good measurement.
All right, so we're not taking a barrel of ale.
No,
Yeah,
we gotta
it's
do
highly
that.
unlikely that you're going to take any of the ale,
Okay,
unless you're
okay.
pouring it into something and then taking it that way. Like if you want to fill a water skin filled with it, great. But I really doubt you're going to be able to get the barrels out.
Okay.
And thank you for the wine cask unit. That's really
You're welcome.
a tin
Yeah, right click save.
A pin, yes.
or a
So it's
ton.
like
Sorry, I
one
thought it said
buttload?
tim.
No, there's ton and then there's pin.
That's a tim of ale. Well, my campaign setting now it's a tin.
We're gonna buy one buttload.
Hell yeah. Okay, so escaping, heading north. Accurate?
Yes.
Okay. As you make your way north from Angbaro, after unsecuring and then opening the window, you move past a number of gravestones, and it looks like 2 large mausoleums on your left side. You kind of breach into the woods, and you can see a path here that kind of moves out and northwards. Along this path, every so often, you do see that there's a gravestone marker here or there. Most of them are broken. There are actually some that look like they have rusted metal sheeting on them that has kind of rotted away and is kind of broken apart. And you can also see ones that look like they had wood markers that are equally in disrepair. Very old markers in a lot of the cases, not too many in the case that are what you consider modern. It does look like a lot of them don't have identifiable notation on them. Some of them look like they've been weathered to a point where you can just barely see, like just an indication that there was writing at all on these markers. But up ahead, as you make your way north, you do see that there is another mound. Not a massive mound like the one that holds the keep and the one that's surrounded by its gravestones. This one is a bit more modest. And it seems that the stones that are kind of laid out and about and the crypts that are kind of placed here are less focused as they are in Spolger's Barrow. And I don't know if this is going to get goes to black. Okay, hold on a second here. I'm going to change the dynamic lighting to be daylight mode. Okay, cool. So I just need to drop your tokens. Perfect. So you kind of come about this space here. And as you're making your way up, the trees here are very, very dead, very, very old. Some of them have kind of white bark to them. Some of them look like they've been struck by lightning at some point in the far past. There's definitely a lot of just kind of death here, but the grass grows green and the stones are well cobbled. And at the center of this kind of space, as you're moving up towards it, you do see a large mausoleum, well, a decent sized mausoleum that is completely made out of black stone, like onyx or obsidian.
Is my tremor sense revealing anything?
Nothing's moving here, no.
Interesting. And you said these are crypts, or like these things here are like little like tombs.
Yeah, they're basically just like flat stone panels that are placed over where someone's buried.
Mm-hmm. Probably nothing loot worthy.
No.
Do we want to check the mausoleum or do we want to let the dead rest?
Glenn at least wants to see if there's any sort of identifying markers on this mausoleum to identify who's buried there.
None.
Interesting.
Is it on the map?
Oh, great question. Go ahead and No roll necessary. You pull out the map and you kind of start looking at it strenuously. And you do see that at the very top, there's kind of a red circle drawn over what appears to be similar to what you're looking at here. And it seems to be denoting Grandpa as the name.
Oh shit.
Grandpa?
Grandpa is the name that's written down. And then there's some kind of like chicken scratch that looks like it's written in a language you're not familiar with.
Oh.
It's the only place on the entirety of that map where that kind of language is written on here, though.
Mhm.
The only spot where this language you don't know is kind of there. If you have someone who's more worldly look at it, they might be able to tell what that language it is, but it's not one I think Lose would know in
Okay.
her travels.
Would anyone else like to have a go?
Glint knows quite a few languages.
It's not one you know. And yeah,
Okay.
you're not as traveled as some of the other party members. The main thing I'm kind of focusing on here is like me as a complete dork and weeaboo. I know what Japanese looks like, so if I saw Japanese, I would
Yeah.
know that that's Japanese. I wouldn't know what the fuck it's saying, but
Yeah.
I would know it's Japanese.
You can tell the difference between like Korean,
Japanese, Korean,
and Chinese.
Chinese. I know the difference as to how they look. I don't know any of these
Yeah.
languages, but I can tell you which one's which.
Mhm.
Could
Similarly,
Orlandus take a look?
Orlandus would probably not be worldly enough to kind of decipher what language it is.
Oh,
He's
what
saying
the
one of
hell?
the bards.
I'm saying
Yeah,
Oh,
one of
okay.
the bards,
Yeah.
What am I rolling?
Nothing. Just
What am I
a
rolling?
quick look from Astrokov and Balgar, both of them looking at the language. You would note that it's Tabaxi.
Oh, this is Wolf Cat.
Yeah, right.
It's definitely
means-
Wolfcat Scratch.
Wolf.
That means there's an old ass wolf cat in here.
Right.
Shit.
Again, from the paintings, remember
Yeah.
there was the two children
Mm.
and the father.
And the grandpapa.
Yeah, this is likely where the old ass vampire we fought was once buried.
Or an older ass vampire.
Yeah. Or his daddy or grandpa.
Either way, let's
it
keep it
says
locked.
grandfather or grandpa right here.
What if Joe fabricates a nice vampire killing spike into it and we just leave it open into the sunlight and let nature take its course?
Yeah, not very
Mhm.
massive. It is daylight. I mean,
Yeah, we could. I think we should open it and see if it is dead or undead.
what better place to get a feel good win than a barrel
Yeah.
that you're shooting a fish in?
Exactly.
Let us open these.
Yeah, fuck it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So coming up to the mausoleum, you would see that there is no locking mechanism. There do appear to be a number of holy symbols placed on it. The markings of the triumvirate have been drawn into them, as
Oh.
has the symbol of Saint Averiu, who is one of the hierarchia, which are the angels that rule in the astral sea or in heaven. So
Bury you.
it looks like someone very much wanted to place very holy symbols on this door.
Okay, so with that in mind, it's been somebody has done their due diligence to make sure that this site is like consecrated.
You bet.
So if we go about undoing all this person's hard work, we could very well cause more damage.
Do we have to break something in order to open this door, DM?
No. You'd have to open the door, but whatever seal has been placed upon it would probably be rendered moot after that point. Or rendered
Remember-
useless, not so much moot.
It's kind of like whenever you want to make sure that nobody opens your room door, and so you put a piece of paper on top,
Yeah,
and then if
Yeah.
it's not there whenever you come back, it's gone.
That's
so then
true.
it's like broken. It's not there.
that's true. That's
Right.
true. But the question is, did he do it, or like did the Lycoi family do it, or?
Fuck no.
It's likely a cleric if it's holy symbols.
But remember, the caskets in the basement; those had Octavian symbols on it too.
John, is it possible if Castia makes a religion and or arcana check that she can tell what exactly they're doing to seal it in, or?
Yeah, so I thought I laid it out pretty well. I just want to
No,
make sure that
yeah.
everybody who's
I just-
kind of understanding here. The symbols appear to be warding, so
Okay.
that whatever's inside of it cannot.
That's
escape.
kind of what I figured. I just wanted to confirm.
Okay.
Maybe we should leave it in there. Although, it is light out, but
Rip
You
him
can
out of his
take it.
casket and put him outside.
Or I'd just destroy the roof.
Can't really set it on fire though.
Yeah, it definitely
No.
doesn't look like it's going to be very easy to destroy.
No. And it seems like, at least to me, trying to go through that much trouble is more likely to cause more harm than good.
I will reference the time that Fiona broke into a tavern and unleashed some
That's exactly what I was thinking.
horrific shadow mage. So I'm going to suggest that we continue on with
Because-
that in mind and just be aware that it's here. And
Fair game.
Whoever's here has been here for a while.
To help,
And-
I could put a moonbeam on it, but I don't know if that's going to do
not
anything.
much. To help your discussion, just to make it kind of like throw a wrench in your kind of mentality there. Keep in mind who is probably buried here based on your notation.
Yeah.
Right.
Think about
Powerful
that too.
Yeah,
old
where's James? Get the fucking NPC in here to speak some sense.
word.
He says, I'm really just hoping to get back to a place where I can
Yeah,
shave and shower. To be
This is
completely
the
honest with
sire
you,
of
but
sires. Let's this is the final boss room. Let's not let's not.
He probably says to you, look, I just spent like a good few days, like a solid better part of the month, inside of a prison getting sucked on by cat vampires. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I escaped to sleep inside of the corpse of
Yeah.
a titan, only to
Mhm.
jump back into that bitch, find my journal,
Mhm.
and like do some fighting. Which I don't even have my journal. She's got it.
Do you have toxoplasmosis now?
I probably have toxoplasmosis. If you think about it. Fucking cat
All right,
shitting
so
right
we'll-
outside my cell.
We'll leave it. We'll leave the mausoleum and then just
He-
try to make our way
He's-
back home.
What he's saying is he's not going to make a choice. If you folks
He
want to
just-
make a choice, live your life.
I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks we could take it, but we'll skip it for now.
If you
And
work as a
then
team,
That's
who knows
Avran.
what you
That's
can do.
Avran speaking.
I didn't
It
say
is
I
Avran
said
speaking.
we.
No, that was Jonah speaking.
That was Jonah speaking.
He says we can do it.
If I
No,
were a
Glint is
paladin, it'd be
more-
different.
Let's
Lint is
simplify it, because it sounds like we're back and forth and we're waffling. Let's just put it to a vote. Starting with Zach. Do you think we should open the crazy Onyx Mausoleum or walk away from it?
Magic 8-Ball says, hell no.
Hell no on the Magic 8 Ball. Moving on to Joe Orbic.
I changed my vote to no.
Don't be peer pressured away from the YOLO.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I'm
YOLO,
going
Joe.
no. If it was a simple yes, there wouldn't have been a fucking explanation like that.
Oh damn it! All right, well if I can't convince Joe to open the fucking door, who can I convince? Jonah,
Hell
what do
no.
you think?
I mean, it's a no
All right,
because I'm not a paladin.
that's fair. I'm
Yeah.
assuming it's gonna be a no across the board for the other three then.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to put a moonbeam on it, but I think
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
It's
do
not
this.
gonna damage the onyx.
How about we put a moonbeam on it whenever you have a stronger moonbeam?
Put a bird on it.
Third level spell.
Put a bird on it.
Yeah, we can do the whole thing like in those open world games where you do all the side content, you fight the first boss and you just
Yeah,
squash him.
Smash him.
I don't get the impression this is the first boss.
Maybe if I had smite.
Maybe the first
Man.
vampire, but it's not the first boss.
Yeah, Glint is going to. His main concern is definitely like taking care of James. So he wants to get.
If James wants a beer, we'll get him a beer.
There's a bunch of ale back there.
Yeah.
You're right.
Literally
Be a
behind.
little strong though, you know. Maybe just ease him in.
I kind of want to open the door, but I'll go with the party.
Okay. Sounds like we're moving on. Nothing else to check out here, right?
Nope.
Not unless you want to dig up every single grave.
Understandably not. Okay, so what I will require is we're kind of into a mini skill challenge segment because you're going to be moving from the northern side of the barrow where there are patrols. They do keep an eye out from here to the middle portion of Cardend. So what I want everyone to do is to make a stealth check If you have anything that you want to do before you move out to a point where you're making these checks, such as casting spells, such as pass without a trace or the like, I need to know about that before we get into the challenge segment.
Nope. Don't got anything.
I am gonna cast guidance on myself.
Okay. That's fine. So then stealth checks away. And so for this challenge, the difficulty value
20.
is 15. And what I will require is that at least
I'm using my inspiration.
half of you make it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
got
gonna
a
use
20,
my-
not a 4.
Right, because you don't
Yeah.
have disadvantage on your stealth, right?
Yeah.
'Cause
The
of
cloak.
Oh.
So we
I
got
have
26,
mine.
20, and 20. That's half exactly. So perfect. You managed to sneak through the northern segment, moving past the arena area, moving way past that and far beyond that, until you finally make a point where you can catch up onto Red Hill Road and end up back on your way to Midtown.
Hell yeah.
I'm assuming the first place you're going, just based on, where I'm assuming you're going is the Broken Blade. Is that right? Or
Yes.
damn, what did I name that tavern?
Broken blade.
Rusty Blade.
Rusty blade.
Broken Blade is a coast.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Blade adjacent.
I have a question. If we're gonna take a long rest, what do I put in for the XP tracker?
Oh, great. Let's see here.
Because I have the stuff that we did the week before. Made McFart Butt Run. Explored the upstairs.
Go
to
ahead
the
and type
mausoleum.
in sword trap failed.
Okay.
And located the portal. Those are the only two things that I'll have that add to that.
Does finding Grandpappy's gravesite count as
No,
something?
you didn't fuck with it, so you don't get anything for it.
Gotcha. Okay.
I want to go back.
If you want to engage the quest, you have to open the door.
I want to engage the Grandpapa.
It's too late. You've already moved past it.
I know.
You'd have to sneak into hostile territory, and sneaking out is easier than sneaking in.
True that.
Okay. So I'm assuming that order of operations, just to simplify the process, because you are moving towards the long rest, the first thing that you're going to want to do is identify the items that you found. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Hadney Haversack. It always was. Never was not that. The
We know.
parrying dagger is, if you have Dirks and daggers, great. It is.
I know. DM skill.
Yeah, there's the
Yeah.
advertisement for everybody, but it is a +1 parrying dagger, and then the rapier is a vicious rapier.
Ooh.
And then it was the potion of invisibility.
Nice. What about the green?
It's green.
It's just green. Okay, cool.
It is a potion of green.
It's green
Is
apple.
Is it cosmetic or is it like a drink?
So, okay, it seems like we aren't all on the same page, so let me just kind of make sure we all understand the meme. I'm probably the only Trekkie in here based on the reactions that we're getting, but there's a type of ale in Star Trek, from the original series through to the Next Generation and so on, called Aldebaran whiskey. It is green, and so when Scotty was drinking with a person who came onto the ship for a while, they just started drinking everything that they had, to a point where they started drinking Aldebaran whiskey, and when he was asked by the alien, "What is that?" he says, and he's looking at the label and he's kind of focused on it, and he says, it's green. It is green. And the same thing happened in the Next Generation. It's always just the green ale. So mechanically, it has no recipe or anything. It's not
It is
Gotcha.
green ale.
beneficial, but
Okay.
it is rare by its just it's nature.
So I'm going to give that to Bolt of Stone, my major domo,
Okay,
as a gift.
and he'll take it and hold on to it for your collection.
No, for him.
Yep, he says he's going to hold on to it for your collection.
Oh Jesus.
He's a good major.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Right. Your crew is very much keeping your apartments very, very nicely, cultivated here. They are not going outside of their nature to, like, they might sip on it while you're gone, but they're not going to drink the whole thing.
Okay. That's fine.
I mean, if nobody else wants the rapier, I can take the rapier. But I would like that parrying dagger since I'll probably make the most use out of it.
Take both.
So those who aren't familiar with parrying daggers have a trait called Defense It, which says if you're wielding it in your offhand and are wielding a weapon in the other hand where you can 2-weapon fight, you're +1 to your AC.
Oh. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Orlandis' shtick is spear and shield.
Yep.
And I know. I mean, if I think Lose can make use of the rapier, but that's up to
I'll
Elizabeth.
take it. So you're taking the parrying dagger.
Mm-hmm. Because Glint favors 2-weapon fighting, so he'll get more use out of that. At level 6, I'm gonna take the actual dual wielding feat, so I can use a rapier and an offhand weapon more effectively.
And so far as we've seen, Lose wields her weapon very much in an Estoc style. It's very much two-handed thrusting.
Yeah, you can't wield a rapier with 2 hands, but
No, she can wield her thin blade with it, though. With 2 hands. Basically, her elvish thin blade is respect katana with piercing damage instead.
Yeah. I can use it one-handed or two-handed, but
Yeah,
I
it's
prefer
versatile.
two. Cool.
because I'm all about sharing. But if you're not actually going to use the rapier, then I'll take that as well. But we've seen that against vampires, magical
key.
are more they're pretty much essential. So
100%.
so spreading the magic weapons around is going to be more effective than having all the magic weapons.
Well, my weapon's already magic. It's a +1.
Oh, nice.
How much is a bag of holding, by the way?
You gotta find one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's, if you're buying one, it's like 500.
Damn.
But there's a percentage chance he has it or not.
Yeah.
You haven't found a market that's more.
And then you have to wait a week, right?
No.
No?
He either has it or he doesn't.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
So, I mean, okay, so if Lose already has a magic weapon, do we want to get the rapier to somebody else?
I don't know that we have anybody else that could realistically do
Bars,
that. I mean,
I think have proficiency with rapier. Hold on a second. But I think
are
No, thank
either of
you.
our bards gonna go stab something? That's the.
No.
I mean our
I have.
bard,
If I'm gonna melee something, I have the coolest way to do it. I don't
Yeah,
need a.
He's got a
breakthrough.
guitar axe. He does, or a harp axe. He doesn't need.
Yeah, Andy's got a magic hammer.
yeah, he didn't
He
go
doesn't
full
need your
ET
trash ass rapier.
full ET on that shit.
I think it's fine for now, Chad.
Yeah,
I
bards,
attack from afar,
bards
peasant.
are proficient with rapiers, just
Oh, it's good to know.
to be
Just
sure.
in
And I think
general.
So,
warlocks are not.
so what? Glint gets both the rapier and the dagger.
It's fine.
Hell yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vicious
So-
rapier.
Yeah, let's see. Is that in the?
Yeah, it should be. Parrying dagger won't be. Just put +1 dagger and then add the.
Yeah, I'll just add the +1 trait to my parrying dagger I've
We're
got.
working
already.
on converting the shit into Roll20. It just isn't there yet.
One day.
So,
Hey, congratulations on moving up in the world.
True that.
More work. All right.
do what I can.
The good news is now there's a silvered rapier running around. It's available if
Well-
if we come up against any more.
I'd say keep it on you just in case you run afoul of more werewolves.
True.
Um,
Can you dual wield rapiers or no?
not yet.
If he gets a feat, he can take the fighting style that lets him do it.
Gotcha.
I already have the fighting style. The thing is, you
Oh,
can't.
it's a feat. It's a feat. You have to take.
Yeah,
a feat
no, it
to
has
use
to be dual wielder
Right.
specific.
right
Yeah, because rapiers cannot be.
because
They don't
They're not
get
like
that.
their finesse. Right.
I was thinking about taking that on Judas.
Yeah, double pistols. But
Mhm.
anywho, focusing back up on the game we're
Sorry.
playing.
Sorry.
Okay, so back inside of the Rusty Blade, Albrecht is kind of focused on his task, sees you enter in, but doesn't really say anything like straightforward, doesn't really focus in on you. If you want to engage with Albrecht, you can. It just doesn't look like he's rushing to you to ask any questions. And you kind of think you understand why that's the case. It's very quiet here. It doesn't look like anybody's here, and you're the only ones who have entered in. He's being very much his facade self instead of his agitator self, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Smart.
Orlandis is gonna he's gonna ask Lasse for the maps, and he's gonna go upstairs to his bedchamber and map out everything, like more detailed.
Okay.
Mm.
Is there anything in particular you were trying to focus in on?
Mostly a route, to and from the Sepulchre's Barrow.
So yeah, the most
Like-
direct route is the route you found, and you're
Yeah.
able to kind of backtrack that with the maps help and your own memory. So you know how to get from point A to point B, and you would actually understand that there's an easier way of going about it. Probably just enter in through the town's sewerway and move that way instead of having to go through all of the sewers.
Mm.
Yeah. Do you want me to
No.
roll cartography?
No need. I know you want to try and roll the skill. It's fine.
I do.
Shimby.
If you want to just to style on me, that's fine.
Yeah. Let's see how
Am I-
nice your handwriting is.
Am I using intelligence for the attribute?
Yeah. Memory based, sure.
I mean,
22.
that's some
Yeah,
fine
everything I
mapping,
just said, it's just the same. So,
but it looks slightly better.
yeah,
Looks
it's
immaculate.
immaculate Parnan cartography. Like a pure general has drawn the strategic notes and knows all the best points where you can kind of defend and hold
Oh, yeah.
inside the sewers.
Castio, sorry, go ahead, Chad. You go first.
No, you're fine.
Go ahead, Tom.
I was gonna say Castio will kind of try to look through that guest book a little more carefully now that we're not in the middle of a horrific manner, and try to check the names that she knows from around town, like
Do you have anything
Victus.
specific you're seeking out or no?
I've got a list of names from the town, so thinking of, I think it's Humbert, Rowland, Victus.
Yeah, so since it's
I'll
a bit more
check.
scattered, I'm gonna go ahead and have you make an investigation intelligence roll.
I did also want to look at for the Hawk's Roost lady that they met. That's the other one, but I don't know. I don't have her name in my notes. Anybody want to use inspiration to have a better?
I got you.
All right, 19.
Albrecht's name appears on the ledger about 12 days ago.
No.
Looks like he met early in the morning. This
Our lady.
would fall in line with time 12 days ago when the situation where they were attacked by bandits. Your group was attacked by bandits would fall in. You had the meeting with the bandit, or Albrecht had the meeting with the bandits, wanted to team up with them, and then like the next day is when he apparently was at the barrow, the manor specifically.
Mm.
She will probably not do a very good job of like disguising her surprise and anxiety about it, and will probably try to grab Lose. Because Lose was there during the bandit stuff too, right? Like she's been with the agitators that long.
I think so.
So she'll like grab Lose and just silently point on the book where that entry is.
This falls in line with the time that you recall that situation coming to, the light, and you're pretty sure you remember like him disappearing and kind of saying that he had to deal with official business,
Yeah.
regarding the town. So
Yeah.
this
It's
is not so alarming to you, but at the same time, you're kind of like, well, kind of not a good look. He didn't mention anything about it.
And they
so
have all that knowledge of our movements, so
They seem to.
Yeah. She'd probably just kind of like wave it off, because it's not super concerning to her,
Understood.
just
So-
considering the circumstances.
Lothe does not join you on team We Hate Albrecht. Not
Sorry,
saying that's not the
Tom.
team you're on or anything. Just what was
So
he doing?
is the implication here that Albrecht's a traitor?
I mean,
Possibly.
Could be.
for Castia, all she knows is that the people in that house are bad. Thus, the people that are visiting the people in that house probably bad.
Yeah, is James's name in the book?
No, he didn't sign in when he came in.
No,
with
he-
the-
Right,
Right.
prisoner.
That's my point. Is that he didn't want to be there, so he's not in the book. So the people who are in that book would have had a reason to be there and would have
Right.
been
Yeah,
Or
it's
would have
accepted.
been there
also like-
officially.
It's
But
also
I mean,
like
you also have to go to like the courthouse for official shit too. So
Right.
like,
so it's like above board. Like his reason for being
yeah,
like above board.
it's like
I don't
it
know.
could just be jury duty.
Kind of sus.
Yeah, it could be that he was summoned.
Well, Lose, you have the information, as do you. I mean, more so you, Castia, have the information. If you want to call him out on it and put it to face, you can. Or you can just leave it as a secret and we can let it fester into something.
Why were you there?
Oh yeah, because like we're there, right?
You were there.
Yeah.
You were there. I've killed dragons.
Yeah, I'll kill you.
I have no dragon.
Why not?
Okay.
You're an intimidating lady. You go.
Well, before you go slinging accusations, could you
I'm not-
wait till
accuse.
Clint and James can get a drink?
Okay, that's
Sure.
yeah. I mean, it probably took Castia time to go through it anyway. So
Yeah,
After they get that drink, sling that shit.
I'm assuming James finds a seat and is kind of taking it easy for a little bit. So whatever James is doing, like Clint's going to be kind of sticking by his side and helping him out.
notice me sometime.
James is in, like, immediately upon arriving, would have asked Albrecht for a place to, kind of get to himself. He would have probably grabbed some of the clothes that Orlandis had pulled away from the bard's gear, toss you your jacket back, and, like, in his kind of loincloth and only his loincloth, taken to the room. And
What a
probably
mood.
spent some time kind of, like,
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to follow him in there. He obviously wants some like alone time to clean up and stuff. So
I will say he definitely has two looks. There's the, like I'm in a like a bathrobe, running around with like a beard, and I've got my book, which is the token I've shown. And then there will very much be the clean shaven witch hunter look. So that will come up later, or
Do
possibly
not
this
try and join him in the bath.
Do not try and join him while he's doing a shave and a shower.
Clint will.
I mean, unless we want to redefine the relationship. I mean, it's mentor protege kind of
Nope.
situation.
Nope.
But
But
vampires
They're
fuck.
not
I mean,
Roman. They're not Roman.
Redefine it.
So James wants to go clean himself up. That's fine. Clint's going to take a seat at the bar, try and get a drink.
Cool.
Master Abbott,
Easily said.
could I
Senpai.
wash your back?
Oh my god.
Of course you can.
Okay, now we can start throwing around accusations.
We're not throwing around accusations.
We're just saying maybe, maybe that's
So
a father
the
figure, more of a
accusations
daddy.
she's gonna throw around is she'll borrow the ledger from
Okay.
Castia.
Cassia, do you lend
And
it out?
We'll be eyeing everybody very suspiciously, but she trusts Lose enough that
Okay, you have the book.
yeah, and go over to Albrecht and point to the spot and be like,
He slams
this
the
the
book
ti-
closed.
the time-
He slams the book closed suddenly as you start to talk,
Oh.
and slides the book over to you. And he looks at you in your eye downstairs.
Oh shit.
fair enough. Just figured this was the time that you.
You see him look over his
You have to
shoulder out
pop
the
out.
window behind him, and then look back at you. Go.
Oh
Alright.
shit. You might get your double.
Guess yeah.
Castia will scurry over and still be looking suspiciously.
The two of you head downstairs. About
Pass her the book because Albrecht's not gonna hurt Castia.
Oh.
Maybe.
15 minutes later, if you go downstairs in the basement, he will arrive. He'll come downstairs after you, and he'll look at you. You know, when I'm in my mode, there's a reason for it. We've been seeing a lot of them scurrying around as of late. Possibly due to you having that book.
Did pop in.
Not a problem. Just, again, maintain an air of caution. We have no reason for us to tip our hand, even though I'm certain that they're probably well aware of your presence in their state. You made it into the manor, I assume.
Yeah.
Not the first one of us.
You were going to ask something before I shut your book on you. What was your question?
Oh, I was just making sure that this was the time that we were having the problem with all those bandits.
Yeah, I was
That was the
chucking.
time you had to do the official stuff.
I was chucking the folks in Marshtown in front of the Boulay on that one. Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. I reported that we had engagements with a merchant lord in Marshtown, and we were attacked by bandits. And I brought this to the attention of the lord, and kept everything above board on that. And hopefully, they've had some problems due to Denisov influence, or at least the Lycoi's influence in keeping them regulated. My conversation
Makes
with the
sense.
master was brief. Cassia, you're kind of doing the glaring look and probably inciting. Your passive insight is not denoting anything untoward, but if you'd like to go ahead and make a insight check, you may.
I mean, that was just her face, but sure.
It was just your
Jesus.
face.
Yeah.
That said, as you're kind of listening to him, it doesn't sound like he is forcing like his statements. It doesn't sound like there's any break. There doesn't appear to be any kind of nervousness in him. He is either a very, 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 very exceptional liar,
Mhm.
or he is telling you the truth. And when I say very, very, very exceptional liar, I mean like the best liar.
No, we already know who the best liar is. I mean, we're
Right.
saying that level. That's
No, it's not that. It's
Okay,
It'd have to be that level if he's not being.
Oh,
on
okay,
the level.
okay. Still suspicious.
Don't
You went to the
be
traitor
suspicious.
house.
Don't be suspicious.
So what did you do
Uh,
there?
Well, we snuck through the tunnels in the sewers, and then there
You
are
mean the
some
ones in
crypts.
Tarn?
Yeah,
They connect.
yeah. We
Kind of.
don't have to go all the way to Tarn. I don't think we have a map that's with Orlandus upstairs,
Okay.
but we have some maps that might help us and names of crypts. Then there's a weird room with coffins and then a pot of blood in the middle, and then there was a guardian there at one point because they kind of figured out that we had made it in there. There's also a big skeleton, and she just like starts going through the whole.
He kind of like listens to it. Once it comes to a point where there's a decent break, he will say, "Who's the old man?"
You mean
Oh,
Grandpa? The one in the
Abbott?
black house?
Black House. No,
Oh,
the
the
one that you brought
mausoleum.
with you, the one that took the room.
That's Glint's mentor, teacher, something like that.
James.
Yeah,
The
Adams.
James.
monster hunter. They had taken him, and he was the old guy that we found in one of the little jails.
Is he with us?
Yeah,
They were milking him like a
Pretty
cow,
sure.
so I don't think he wants any more of that.
yeah. They were feeding off of him for a bit.
So he was there, and so the
Yeah.
Ghost of Tarn was seeking out something that actually had merit.
Yeah.
this is intriguing news. James Abbott is renowned for his capabilities in monster hunting, and so it's proven then that the Lycois are something nefarious.
They're absolutely vampires
Do we have any proof that we could?
and lycanthrope.
Yeah,
Well, they
there were
had-
some ladies that turned into dogs, and then he stole some
He
life
kinda-
energy, and
kinda
I have
waves his
this.
hand like gesturingly, like away from Cassia. Not like in
I-
not. In
I
like,
hold up the notebook.
and then he kind of stops and kind of looks at you, kind of reaches over. Is that James's notebook?
Yeah.
Kind of pours through it. Still second hand. Hands that back to you.
Did he get those pictures? I don't
We
know
got
if that does
one of
anything.
them.
Oh.
We took one
I
of the
don't know if that
paintings,
does
and it was of Elgan, I think.
It would be
No,
hard
it was
pressed
four.
for us to
Well.
push any kind of dissent between the Lycois and the Denisovans, but it has been widely suspected for decades, years before the Denisovans came to power, that the Lycois were something else.
You know, it's a shame that Glenn ate that apple. Did he get any more? Do you know, Castia?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think he ate the whole apple. I think he fell over before that.
I would almost say. Sorry, what? You gotta stop.
There was this tree, and it made him poorly
Where?
in the manor,
There's a tree.
like just outside of the weird coffin room. It was like around the corner, and then there was a tree there. They're growing it, and it has these apples that just make you poor.
And you said you had one?
Don't know if it's the one that he bit off of still around, but we could check.
It was mentioned that it was discarded, so yeah,
Oh, okay.
he would say, I don't know what that means or what that could do, but it might serve as proof, I guess.
I mean, I did throw some light at one of them at the master, and he ran off like a wuss.
Again, I understand, Cassia. Not that I'm saying that I don't believe that you killed a dragon by yourself, but proof of that is something that I need in this regard. I'm willing to entertain the idea of you having bested a dragon, and in my personal manners, I'm also willing to entertain exactly what you just said. The problem is it's not so much that I'm wanting that information for myself. I
He
think
made it for others.
I think that if the Lycois are dubious in their relations with the Denisovans, creating a wedge between them might be beneficial to our endeavors. The Lycois.
Well, they
So,
know they
what
know
you're
a
s-
lot about our endeavors.
It's true. There is that logbook.
Show me.
Do we have it, or did Orlandus have that?
I can go get
Orlandus-
it.
Yeah, Orlandus
I-
would, like,
Yeah.
if you come up, he'll hand it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
While he's furiously drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'm busy mapping. Sorry, here, take it.
he's hyper focused.
You head back downstairs with the book, hand it over to him, and he kind of goes over it and says,
I mean, I kind of thought you told them.
why would I do that?
I mean, why? I didn't know why you would be there with bad people. And
My name's
He'd be
attached.
charging it himself.
My name's attached to the group.
I don't.
I'm literally the head that needs to be cut off to stop it. He shakes his head at Cassia. It's like you were born yesterday.
I
he
mean,
he looks
we
low,
kind of
say,
questioned it
right.
a bit.
right. But I can't think of anybody who would have this information on the ready.
Have you? Where did you?
Wait,
When
here,
you visit-
here, he says, and he kind of starts pointing at it. It'd have to be. He stops for a second, thinking. It would have had to have been someone who was at the lake house. Right? They were the only ones that were among us that were there. Unless it was likely. Varnador is not suspected here, is he?
Dunno, haven't gotten that far.
But you said Brunilda was in the ledger.
Yes.
Yeah, she was.
There's no notice
10
of
days ago.
her here.
She also had, she kind of digs through her pack. I did find this off of her and holds up the dagger that she had gotten from the house of,
Yeah, the
Brunilda's
Denisopin
house.
knife.
yeah. I don't know if it's related, but I figured it, maybe they had actually already killed her or something. And I don't know. Can't ask her, she's dead.
Right. This is troubling. Especially since some of these notes are beyond her death. Which means she would probably have been the easiest one to count for this notation here, but she was dead by the time you moved to Torrent Keep, which was the most recent insert.
Just a couple days ago.
Right. It might be someone amongst us. One of the agitators.
All right, who amongst the agitators has the longest arms?
None of them have very long arms. I suppose it would be Ivan, but he's a Goliath.
That makes sense, I guess.
It's proportional.
Right, they're proportional. They're longer, but they're proportional.
He kind of needs them. Be kind of
Right.
funny. Little.
If he had more human-sized arms on his big frame, that would be hilarious. A thunder lizard. Anyways, to the point. This is troubling.
Yeah,
Well-
we need to figure out who it is.
Lose, we don't know much about Castia. As we understand it, she just came to us amidst. I know she's standing right there, and I am talking about her in the third person as if she wasn't in the room, but I do want to
I'm used to it.
check your measure. Do you trust her?
Looks at Castia.
Who's looking very uncomfortable and nervous.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't, I could fight her. I could take her.
Orlandis was paid for by me to come here. And I don't think there have been any instances of him having a chance to negotiate different contracts with the Lekoi. Glenn's purpose seems to have been confirmed by him finding his mentor in the state that you said he was found in.
Yeah, he was also scared of the vampires, so
Who?
don't
Glenn?
think he'd be working with them.
Okay, well, fair enough. Balgar is a dwarf.
That's so mad right now.
What? What'd you
Chad's
say?
giving us the look.
He says,
You
Balgar
ran.
is a dwarf, and like the stone, I trust them. I don't see why a skald such as himself would be interested in rooting us out to the Denisopins. And Astrogoth also has nothing to gain from this other than what he's already earned himself by right. He already has access to the markets the Denisopins provide.
Cass just starts to say something and then she remembers what she learned and will keep it quiet. That he's a vampire, so of course he'd be working with vampires. No, I'm not going to say that. She learned.
He
He's a
said,
vampire.
oh, what? Well, we gotta kill him. And the whole party murders the next character.
No.
Uh,
He who
Why'd you do that? Because he's a vampire.
Glenn.
Glenn just
Okay.
Homer Simpson back into the hedge wall.
Yeah.
This is gonna be so out of pocket, but could it be Bethild?
He says, I trust pretty much everyone we have in our group. But Lose, if you are interested in trying to find out who this spy might be, it could be someone amongst our number. It could be someone who's close to us. In these next few days, you have risen the ire of the Denisovans, no doubt. The Lycoi will probably call upon them to seek you out, seek those that were with you out. I would advise that you lay low for a couple of days unless you have a plan of action that's immediate. I'm prepared to do it.
Don't really. We did leave the front door open.
I would suggest that you and yours come down and have a good discussion regarding what you've uncovered. I have work to do and a face to maintain. If there's anyone amongst the agitators you wish to accompany you in your meeting and discussion, I will send for them. But if you wish to have that discussion amongst yourselves, down here in the basement would probably be the safest place to have that conversation.
Well, has that information they have been discussed down here?
Sorry, what do you mean by that? My brain didn't.
Like, could they be listening here?
Here? No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Because there wasn't anything listed in the ledger or the logbook about anything that was down
Lana's
here.
wards are secure. Unless she is the one who is pushing the information to them, I am confident in her arcana to be secure.
You said Kalam?
Lana.
Lana.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go
Alright,
back upstairs. Do you want me to send them down to you?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. He'll go upstairs and he'll inform Glint, Orlandis, Balgar, and Astrogoth that the Lose and Cassie are wanting to have a basically an aftermath discussion regarding what's happened.
Glint will bring his drink.
Okay.
Are the maps finished by now?
I would say no, but you can take them downstairs. You know that there's a table down there.
Yeah, okay. There's enough light in the basement, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ever burning candles.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
There is now as I cast light on your face.
You can see everything and nothing at the same time. But if you all take to the Rusty Blades basement, gathering together, not calling upon any of the non-you members of the agitators. You've got about 8 minutes or so left before the session ends. I'd kind of like for you to discuss what your plan of attack, what your interests are, kind of moving forward.
Well, as a player, I would like not to make another attempt until I'm level 6.
Well, right off the rip, the only suggestion that I could really add is that we get our Dwergar friends involved, and that would take time. But we could give them a means of which to enter through a space in which they're very familiar in traveling.
Yeah. Well, they'd also
think we
be
should.
more probably comfortable traveling through the sewer system too.
Yeah, exactly. And now we know what that looks like. We could explain it to them how to get through there.
In fact, we even have a map.
Yeah.
We
We
just
have 2 maps.
That's really the only ally that I think I could call upon at this point. Rather, like, there's no way anybody's coming from Stormloft.
How long has it been since we've been to the Durga?
A couple days, probably no more
Couple
than
days.
6 days. Yeah,
So
about
by
3 or
now-
4 days.
By now, they should have the forge running and stuff.
Yeah,
Hey, Balgar.
Hey. What's up,
Uh,
Doug?
No, dude.
just an idea, but perhaps you might be able to secure a few more Dwergar hands with the promise of some Mug Pounder ale.
Hey,
It's-
that's a good idea. Yes, I think that'll work.
Okay.
If
So-
we are successful in this venture, that ale would be free for the taking.
Reestablishing contact with the Dwergar.
Mm.
That sounds like it's a pretty solid focus. Does anybody have any other suggestions? Anything that you want to kind of investigate in the town before you make your way back out into the Stoutwood?
There is Vindicus? Vindictus?
Victicus, correct.
Victicus. There's him, but that's if he even opens the door.
Right. And so we're looking at like you having arrived back into the Rusty Blade right around like shortly after noon. Because remember, you slept outside. First light, you went down there, and you spent like a better part of like half the day, kind of fucking around inside the manor and then escaping it.
Screwed up.
So that's kind of where we're at temporally. So you would know that it's probably going to take you the better part of half the day to get to the Black Spear. So you'd be arriving at nighttime, and that's entirely up to you whether or not you want to, make that your effort, or you can spend the remainder of the day here, kind of sussing out what you have available to you, and also contacting any leads. I really
Yeah.
like the Black Spear Connect, though.
The
Yeah, I
other,
think that's.
Oh,
I would
sorry.
like.
Go ahead.
the con to calling upon them as allies is that it's going to take time, and
Right.
with the LaCroix being aware of people fucking with their shit, it's only a matter of time before they completely lock down the rest of the town or calling for more Denizop and reinforcements.
And I would argue the sooner that you can contact them and muster them, the better. So yeah, I'm on the same page there. It's just dependent on whether or not you want to be out in the Stoutwood and like at the base of the Black Spear at nighttime, knowing that there might be Denisotvan forces in and around that region,
Fucking vampires.
or fucking vampires. Cassie,
Anybody cast?
go ahead.
I was going to ask if anybody could cast sending.
I don't think anybody can yet. But
Death not.
Another thing, another potential resource or potential allies is now that we have recovered James, he
And
could.
and he's with you 100%. Whatever
Right.
you're wanting to engage in, he's with you. There will be a time I'll let you know like how I'm role playing him. Every time you are talking to him, past him coming out, shaving, a haircut, and fitted and fashioned, he is very much going to be kind of focusing in on his book and kind of very like, okay, sure, I'll help you. It does seem like he's planning and plotting something different. So he is very much his own operator, which you've seen throughout your entire time with him. But if you engage him, I will role play him with kind of like a mentor's kind of like whimsy.
Right. I mean, at some point, Glint will, because throughout their journey through the sewers and the things they encountered there, Glint was kind of taking after him in that same way, where he was kind of taking notes and making illustrations of what he encountered. So there probably will come a point where they compare notes, but that'll be more of like a downtime, less relevant to the things at hand.
Cassia still has his journal.
Yeah, it's a very valuable book. Don't run off with that. But the original point I was going to make was that now that we have recovered James and he is back, he can sort of inform the individuals at the Hawk's Roost of what's going on and what he's seen.
Correct.
What is, and perhaps some of the individuals there might be
Okay.
or willing to help us.
So let me go ahead and put a kind of a notation as to what we're planning here. For the remainder of the day, Glint, you are wanting him to go and speak with the members of the Hawk Roost and kind of use his kind of just membership and presence there to kind of see if they can elicit any help from them. Meanwhile, it sounds like Orlandus is interested in figuring out what's going on with this Victicus individual, just to kind of get more information and kind of close that lead. Is that a fair assessment, Jonah?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then it sounds like everyone else is kind of like waiting for either like everyone to kind of finish up with the town so that they can get moving now, or wait until first light next day, or possibly a little earlier than first light, travel out into the light to get
Yep.
through the Stoutwood to the Black Spear and get in contact with the Dwergar as quickly as possible. Are these
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
fair statements?
My
Yeah.
preference would be to wait until the following morning or close to that, because I also have this really important book I'd like to finish reading.
Okay. So with that being said, what I'm going to track here is because we are at the end of the session, I just want to make sure the Hawkshrews conversation between the Hawkshrews members and Master Abbott, it's not going to be something that's telecast to you, and none of you are going to be invited to that. So that's happening, and I will give you the aftermath of it during the next day.
Wait, isn't Astrogoth a member?
True, but even still, Victicus will be meeting directly with her
Oh,
specific. It will not be a conversation that's televised.
Gotcha.
Second portion, Victicus will never answer his door beyond this point. So that is the dead end, and you are slamming your face into a door. I will let you know that,
Literally slamming her face into a door.
and let that be understood. So I want to be sure you're taking a long rest. Is that fair?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. In the aftermath of this session, I'll go ahead and award you experience based on what we have notation-wise in the experience tracker. Thanks for watching those that did, and we will see you next Friday, I believe is good. I know some of us will be on vacation doing their own things, but we'll have most of the crew. So we'll see you then.
What's a vacation?
Thank you.
Yeah.